like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
We can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillar. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media. And you don't have to worry about it, because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead, hit that like button, because you already know what time it is. And you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've seen other people do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this. And it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content out. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, today, y'all, we are going to have an interesting show about an interesting situation. And we're going to be slightly more liberal today. Because y'all, I don't really deal with other content creators, but it seems like as I rewatched this and heard it again, it's two content creators. One telling a story about herself, and it was implied that she has a channel, so I guess she's a content creator too. And then you got the person that's covering it, which was so crazy. But I'm really look, we're not gonna insult. We ain't gonna do no insults like that, y'all. We gonna deal with the story, basically. We gonna deal with the story. But amazing piece of work is all I can say. This is an amazing piece of work. So y'all, we gonna get into when Captain Obvious goes missing. Because if you listen to this, I'm pretty sure you can at least somewhat tell Captain Obvious was nowhere to be found. Sometimes we make so much fun of Captain Obvious. But I guess it's people out here. It's people out here who need Captain Obvious. And we don't really think about when Captain Obvious needs to show up. I guess we never really think about when he needs, because we making fun of somebody who's being Captain Obvious. So we never really consider when Captain Obvious really needs to be present. So we gonna deal with Captain Obvious, who totally went missing. Okay, Captain Obvious was gone. Okay, he was totally gone. But before I go too far into this, let me first of all say shout out to everybody for coming through. I appreciate everybody who gives views consistently to the channel. Thank you very much for what you do. I'm glad that you support me. I appreciate you big time. That's why I bring you the best content, y'all, on social media. That's why I do that, okay? Because I appreciate you. Could go anywhere, but you come here. So shout out to all y'all. Shout out to everybody who leaves comments after the stream. These type of things help with the algorithm big time. Everybody who hypes me up every time you get a chance, hype me up, y'all. Hype me up. Okay, these are algorithm friendly things to do. Shout out to everybody who hits that like button. Appreciate y'all big time. And if you ain't already done it, just go and do it now. And remember, you can hit the like button if you're newer to the channel and you missed something from a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, a year ago, whatever. It's always a good time to hit that like button, y'all. It's never a bad time to hype me up or hit that like button. So make sure you do that whenever possible, okay? And shout out to everybody who gives financial contributions to the channel, because those are the people who going above and beyond, who allow me to do certain things on the channel that I wouldn't be doing without them. So shout out to everyone who becomes a financial contributor. And shout out to A Sword of Seed. He is our sponsor of today's stream, y'all. Some people get so excited about the big sponsors, the big companies and things like that. And I ain't saying I'd be mad at it. I don't think there's nothing to get mad at when you have a big sponsor. But it's always great to be supported by the people. And that's just real talk. It's always great to be supported by the people. So let me give a couple shout outs to some of the first people in the chat this morning. Y'all know how it go. It's hard to be first. Sometimes you come too quick. Sometimes you come too slow. But somebody got to be there, y'all. Somebody got to be there. So shout out to the Highlander of today's stream, our one and only Pitmaster. Chef Mike's Roundtable is the Highlander of the stream. Shout out to you, Chef. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. And shout out to everybody else flowing into the arena. We got Trail Bentley coming in right behind him, representing as he always does. Hashtag Long Live the Habitual Line Steppers. Hashtag Negroes in the Wilderness. Hashtag Dignity Over Vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's Babies. Hashtag Hail Hydra. Shout out to Kevin 3904 in the building. Great to see you. Great to see you. We got Patrick Saint in the house. My main man, Tunnel Runner, is in the building. What's going on, my brother? What's going on? Jay Bones, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Afro Merchant is in the house, y'all. We about to get into this, y'all. We about to get into this. And, y'all, I want y'all to keep in mind the reactions that we're about to see. Or if you've already hit the link in the description, you've already seen it. Okay? And y'all, it's always good when you go to the Roger Report Live to check the links in the description to see if there's something that we're going to be constantly referring to, because there is one today. So it's always good to check before you watch a Roger Report Live. Won't be one every day, but they will be there from time to time. So make sure you check. I'm going to say shout out to Trail Bentley, y'all. Okay? I think we have a story here that is very difficult for a lot of Black women to just accept. Now, this was an interesting story because you got a Black woman, okay, from what we can tell, I guess an FBA woman. They in the United States, though. Now, I hear the woman covering the story of the story that the other woman gave. I hear a little accent on there. She say Jamaican, so I'm going to assume she's a Jamaican too, because she don't want Jamaicans to be viewed in a bad light. I can understand that. Okay, I can understand that. She want to say it's just him. It's not the Jamaicans. It's just him. Kind of one of those type moves. The guy who was talked about in the story happened to be Jamaican, according to what we was told. Interesting stuff. Okay. You would think, with all this going on, Captain Obvious would have showed up somewhere, y'all. You would think he would have showed up somewhere. But as I've said before, y'all, the negative black woman's mindset is being shipped to other places. So I guess this is some of the evidence that it's being shipped out to other places too. Or maybe you could say, well, all these folks probably in America, so they just getting it from here. However you want to look at it, it is what it is, okay? Shout out to Captain Obvious, y'all. I never realized until today just how important Captain Obvious was. Has there been some time where you had to tell people the obvious? Yes. Okay, there have been. But when I think about Captain Obvious, we're usually laughing and joking because somebody is stating the plain obvious that the group I'm around, come on, like you really had to say that? You don't think we all saw what we just saw? But when you start thinking about other folk, sometimes Captain Obvious needs to show up. Okay. And maybe you don't see it yourself when you need Captain Obvious. That's what I'm thinking. You don't see it when you need Captain Obvious, maybe. So I'm going to have to just rethink it the next time somebody come over and say something so completely, I'm going to have to just rethink what I'm going to do. Am I really going to laugh this time? Am I going to crack jokes? Because Captain Obvious is needed out here, y'all. He is needed. Okay. And if you listen to the story, you should see where he's needed. Now, I don't know these ladies' names. Don't really care about their names. Not important to me. Okay. So I'm going to go with the lady who told her story. We just going to we'll call her girl A, and the one who covered the girl covering her story, we'll call her B. Okay. We got A and B. Or matter of fact, we'll call them A and J. Because I'm assuming one is American and the other background is Jamaican. That's what I'm assuming. Okay. So I could be wrong. But I think, it was something like that was said. So I could be wrong. So I'm going to go with A and J. Okay. Their names, not important. What is important? The story itself, how things unfolded. Okay. And y'all, I'm not going to quote unquote trash the women because that's not what I'm here for. I never came to the internet to start trashing other content creators. But we do need to look at the story, how things unfolded, the conclusions people jump to, and why I'm saying Captain Obvious was clearly not in the building. Like, I don't know where he was, but he has a superhuman duty to get out here and help folks see the obvious. And he literally went missing. I don't know, maybe on a different planet right now. Maybe he a real superhero and he doing stuff outside the galaxy or something right now. But Lord, is he needed? Is he needed? Now, this probably is going to be a great stream to share with any young lady because this shouldn't be so difficult, y'all. Girl A told a story. Okay. Or woman A. Yep. Girl or woman, doesn't make no difference because these are actually women. Okay. So woman A told a story. Woman J commented on the story. And this is about people having a first date, y'all. This is first date. I'm trying to make a good impression. This is about the best you're going to get out of me. Because most people will try to put their best foot forward. Shout out to Floyd Thompson. I see you, my brother. Yay, yay. You try to put your best foot forward. So she met a guy. She said the guy was attractive, Now, I saw how she was trying to diss the guy, but how much can you diss the guy that you wanted to go on a date with? So she was kind of caught up in the situation of how bad she's going to say something about the guy because she wanted his number and she wanted to date the guy. So how bad can you drag the guy who you just met and you wanted to date him? All right, you wanted his phone number and you wanted him to have your phone number. How much can you really say? Okay. Now, when I hear the young lady tell her story about going up, meet with the gentleman for this first date. Am I mad? No, I ain't mad at you. However y'all figured this out, y'all decided y'all gonna meet at this location. It is what it is. So when you go to a location like that, you know, you want you're it's not quite the first impression, but a first date impression can matter a lot to people. Now, you will hear ladies on the internet talking about where you're going and how much money dudes are spending and all that type of stuff as if that really matters. But there is something that does matter. Your character. Okay. I have said time and time again, and I'm going to say it again because, I done lost some channels. So I'm going to put it out there again. What do black men look for? The thing is, people never really ask, what do black men really look for? Nobody really investigated. I found out what the three main things are. You don't have these three things, you're looking for a bad situation. I'm going to say the brother in this story was just looking for the basics. What are the basics? Loyalty, good character, good company. Now, a lot of people say, well, you got to be beautiful or you got to be attractive so people talk to you in the first place. Cool. I'm not going to even argue that. Will people, excuse me, will people look beyond looks? Obviously, black men look beyond looks all the time. Looks can help you get in the door quicker, but there needs to be something there when you get in the door. And if you want some staying power, you got to have loyalty, good character, and good company. Now, I'm going to say in this story, I saw a little bit of a display of missing things in this particular thing. Loyalty, good character, good company. I'm not saying she wasn't loyal. No, I'm not going to say that. We not enough time together to really say if she's loyal or not. Okay, not enough time. Is she good company? Now you can start making prejudgments on that. We don't truly know because we didn't really hear her be company to the man. We don't really know what her company is like. Does she have good character? I'm going to say enough was displayed that her best, a good first date impression. I mean, they met somewhere else, but that impression was good enough to get to the date. So the first date impression, I'm going to say she definitely displayed poor character. And the thing is, for women, this is probably something that they just not going to see if you just let them hear the story, how it was told. Poor character through the door. That's what I'm going to say. Poor character through the door. I think it was fairly obvious. Maybe you got to be a dude to understand how obvious this is. Now, of course, I'm saying that jokingly because why would you have to be a dude to understand how obvious that is? But the funny part to me is that the cognitive dissonance some folks have, or the just fact refusal to accept a fact as a fact, the one telling the story seemed like her tardiness was not obvious to her. The one who commented about the story seemed like she couldn't understand her tardiness affected this whole story. The only person who seemed to actually knew what was going on, even though we didn't even hear a word from him, the only person who seemed to know what was going on was the guy who agreed to go on a date. He seemed to know what's going on completely. But the women somehow just couldn't figure out what should be extremely obvious. Now, my thing is this, y'all. I don't give women credit for not knowing or not understanding. If you are 18 years old, you are required to know everything you need to know for the rest of your life. And for anybody who say, well, that's not possible, accept that life ain't fair or stop talking. That's probably what you should do. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. If you can't accept that life ain't fair, you probably should stop talking. Because somebody who can't adjust to that one reality, that life isn't fair, what could you ever say that should be listened to? You probably need to just quote other people. Quote some people who've already accepted that life is not fair. All right. And of course, I've said time and time again, people need to get out their own ego's way. Now, ego was brought up as I listened to this. The ego of the one person who seemed to have a grasp of reality was brought up, as if his ego should be in question. The one person who seemed to have a grip on reality, his ego is the one that got questioned. Ain't that about nothing? Yeah. Now, y'all, you could see this as a man thing versus woman thing. It's not. This is people, y'all. Ain't nothing happening here that a woman shouldn't be able to see what actually went down and what the problem is. A woman should be able to see exactly what the problem is. Now, it's funny to me that one woman didn't display that she saw it, and then a second woman listened to it, and she didn't display that she saw it either. You know? But I guess in America, black women are so trained to not see obvious stuff when it comes to a black man. Now, this is the thing. You know, people would say, well, you know, black men got a problem with black women. But you never take into the obvious stuff like this into account. It don't make no sense at the end of the day. How was this supposed to go, y'all? Let's be realistic. How was this supposed to go? Y'all agreed to meet at some location. Cool. Y'all gonna meet at the location. It's all good. Okay. You agreed upon the location. So you, as a man, you go there to go to the agreed upon location. So you're taking this seriously. Okay, cool. Now, she's not there when she's supposed to be there. Now, she did say she reached out to the man to let him know what was going on. And you know what I really believe this man did? He said, okay, I'm gonna wait. Because let's keep it real, y'all. He could have got up and left. But that don't seem to be obvious to them, that he could have just got up and left. You know? But no, he didn't do that. He said, let me give her a shot. Let me just go and get a girl a shot. Okay? So now, this is the thing. You don't know how important it is for him, for a person to be on time. And because this is a first date, if you're going to be on time for a date, I think the first was probably a good idea. It's probably a good idea to put a little extra effort in to be on time for the first date. You know, now maybe he liked you enough, he let it slide on date 2, 3, or 4. You know, and that's for any man. But that first date, you might want to be on time. Okay? Because things can be held against you at a rate that's much different than once someone makes a connection with you. But y'all don't really got no connection. Based on what we were told, y'all don't got no real connection. It's just two people who was interested in each other because they found each other attractive. There's no real connection here. So why is being late cool? You can't count on the other person to be cool with the fact that you're late. Now, why is it that women in this particular situation, the woman who said it, the women who covered it, why do they expect the guy has to give them a break? That man ain't required to give nobody a break. This is a first date, y'all. Okay? Now, I see somebody backstage. I'll bring you up in momentarily. I do see somebody coming up. Oh, I don't know if there's somebody coming up. We'll see. You want to make a good impression on the first date. Okay? You want to make a good impression on the first date. All right. Now, that's my man, Compassion Cow. He done got on the 1 and 2. So he going to share a little bit of this, y'all. He going to share a little bit of this. And it's hard, you know, y'all know what they say, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. I don't know how good that advice is. I guess it depends on the context of the situation. So I heard her story about how she didn't care about this guy's time. She didn't care about what he got going on in his life. And it wasn't just a big enough deal for her to give off a good impression. Now, I'm going to say the woman's an attractive woman. She seems young enough to make something happen in her life. When I got to the end of the video, though, I heard some things that made stuff even more obvious. I'm going to say that. Made some stuff even more obvious. But a woman who looks like this should have been able to make something happen. Because you got a good situation going on. You don't know anything negative going on. But let's see where, and I don't know where Compassion Kaiser starting with this. You know, he just rock and do his thing the way he want to do his thing. So let's see what we got here. Compassion, you got it, my brother.
From a date. What the heck? So this really attractive guy named Ed approached me. You know, he's Jamaican, good-looking guy, tall, cute. When I get over there, his back is facing me. So I'm like, hey, Ed, how are you? And he ignores me. And I'm like, okay. And he looked at me with the most bitchiest look I've ever seen in my life. And he said, good night. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, y'all just saw that. When I tell you my jaw dropped, this might be one of the most awkward first dates I've ever seen online.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes.
I'm Sanya from the 876, so welcome. Please consider subscribing and let's be friends. So today we're diving into a situation that honestly had my jaw on the floor. This girl went on a first date, communicated that she was running late, updated the guy, and when she officially arrived, he ignored her completely. Let's unpack it, because the more I listened, the more I thought, was this about her being late or was this more about his ego? Before we dive in, I really want to hear what you think while you're watching, so drop your thoughts in the comments. Now let's roll the clip and then I'll give you my take, because this one, it is layered.
I just got dismissed from a date. You know, this doesn't feel good at all. I was a little down on myself at first, but then I thought about it. I was like, what the heck? So this really attractive guy named Ed approached me on Friday or Saturday, I don't remember. And, you know, he's Jamaican, good-looking guy, tall, cute. So we were talking on the train since we were both going the same way. Conversation was a little bit weird on the train, but he was very charismatic. He made me feel comfortable, and so I agreed to exchange numbers with him. So we exchanged numbers, and he wanted me to meet him in the city, right across the street from Bryant Park at 7 p.m. today. So we kept in touch, let him know that I was on my way, but at around like 6 o'clock, I knew I was gonna be a little late because I was driving. So I told him, I said, hey, I'm running a little bit behind, but I'm on my way to you. So
Quick pause right here. We see that she's communicating, and I love that. She's not just running late and then going silent. She's keeping him updated. She's showing respect. You can tell she doesn't have that attitude of, well, I'm running late, so he just has to wait. Nah, she's considerate. She has manners. She grow right.
So I was making good timing. I actually thought I was going to make it before time, but right when I got to Midtown, the traffic was absolutely insane. So I texted him and I'm like, hey, I'm on my way to you, but traffic is absolutely crazy. And I have to find parking, so I don't think I'm going to get to you till about 7:15. So he asked me if I was driving Uber, and I told him I was driving. Found a spot though. Paid for it and dashed over to that place. When I get over there, his back is facing me. So I'm like, hey, Ed, how are you? And he ignores me. And I'm like, okay. I'm like,
He did not answer.
hey Ed, how are you doing? And he's eating. He's like, he takes another bite. He takes another bite now instead of saying something. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, he's probably pretty pissed.
And this is where I lose respect for him because she communicated. She told you that she was running late. You don't get to punish somebody for traffic. You handle it with maturity. And this is what it seems like he is lacking.
And he's like, I'm like, what? He was like, I'm waiting for something. What do you think I'm waiting for? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, what time are we supposed to meet? I was like, 7 o'clock. And he's like, what time is it now? I was like, oh, it's 7:23.
How dare you show up 23 minutes late? And this is where I feel like this is his ego talking. Because that is not, I have standards as a man. That is, I want to be in control. Silence is punishment. Big red flag. Now let's see how this plays out. Because if it were me, I would have clutched my bag and go through the door. Because you're not going to come and disrespect me with silence. You didn't even greet.
All right, y'all. I gotta I gotta jump in here, y'all. I got to jump in here. Did we know what the problem was? It was fairly obvious. He took another bite of food. What was he doing? Giving her a chance to do the obvious thing. Giving her a chance to do the obvious, extremely obvious thing. All right, okay, cool. He picks up on the fact I'm gonna have to push her a little bit to do the obvious thing that I shouldn't have to do. So I'm gonna give her some grace. I'm gonna actually say something. Hey, what time we were supposed to meet? What time is it now? Let's see what she doing. The man threw the assist. I swear, he did a full court pass. She was right at the basket. All she got to do is grab it and throw it down. Did she grab it and throw it down? Not that I can tell, but since Kevin came up, Kevin, go on, jump in there real quick. What say you, my brother? What say you?
Oh, man, good morning to the chat, man. Man, both of these women just don't understand. These women need charm school. That's the first thing I'm gonna say. They need charm school because they don't understand uh, that we see what they're doing. This is what you would call a shit test. It's like being fashionably late to a party. The reason why you come fashionably late because you think you're the most important person there. You think your value is higher than everybody else's. So this is that fashionably late. Oh, he's gonna wait on me, and I'm gonna. This is a psychological game of I'm more important than you, and he handled it perfectly. He handled it absolutely perfectly. And while he was chewing his food, I would imagine if that were me and I'm chewing my food while she's standing there, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna say and how I'm gonna respond. He measured himself. He measured himself. This dude was probably thinking, do I just dismiss her immediately or do I give her an opportunity? Like you said, he told her an assist. And she tried to act oblivious like, I didn't do anything wrong. Man, he checked her, right, man. He looked at that thing and said, in the future, if I'm dealing with this woman in the future, she ain't going to be on time.
You know, I'm gonna say
Go ahead.
to me, and I'm gonna let a little bit more roll on here. I'm gonna say shout out to Floyd Thompson. Floyd Thompson say I'm eating the day to start, but Captain Hippo doesn't get it. Now, let's keep this in mind, y'all. The lady who's there, she seems like she's attractive. She don't seem like a big girl. Now, the girl covering it, of course, she does seem a little big, but that's okay. It's America. You can be fat if you want to. It's all right. Okay? She not the one on the date. Okay? So now I'm going to say, yeah, he started eating. I'm going to say grace was given. The sad part is the woman literally said the man didn't give her no grace. I don't know how much more grace he needed to do. to give somebody a chance. And I'm gonna say he obviously likes something about her because he did give her the grace. Because he could have just been gone by the time she got there. And that's
Correct.
just real talk. He could have just been gone. But let's let a little bit more roll, and then we'll we'll get into it. I got another guest coming up. He'll get a comment after we let a little bit more play out. Go ahead, Compassionate.
Her or acknowledge the fact that she made it. He was not even able to put his ego aside and to say, all right, you're here. I'm glad you're here. Let's get this date started. We can deal with the lateness aspect of it later.
And he was like, yeah, so you're not sorry that you're late. And I'm like, well, I didn't even get to that. I was, but I didn't want to start off the conversation by arguing because that's not me. So I was like, I just closed my eyes for a split second, sat back, and I was like, oh, it's just, I was greeting you first, and I'm really sorry that I'm late. Traffic was really crazy, and, I tried to get to you as soon as I could. And he's like, well, you decided to drive in Midtown during this rush hour or whatever he was saying. And he was like, that's foolish, or that's something of you. And I'm like,
exactly what I thought. He wanted to feel in control. This was never about her being late. This was about his superior complex. He was embarrassed. He was sitting there waiting on her to show up, and he did not like the fact that he had to wait. This is where the ego comes in. That man was sitting there thinking, how dare you? This was a 7 o'clock date, so I'm assuming that he probably have gotten there maybe about 6:50, 6:45 thereabouts, and then she's 23 minutes late on top of that. So it's not about her being late, it's more about how it made him look. He was embarrassed that he was sitting there alone for 23 minutes or more, give and take the time that he arrived. People probably walked by, the waiter probably came over more than once. Hey sir, is someone still joining you? And every bit of that made his ego bruise even more.
At this time. And he just
Hold on,
gave
let
me
me jump
this
in right here.
nastiest attitude. He was just,
Y'all, I think this is good for men to see. Because I know, obviously men are not going to really watch stuff like this. I do it because I'm a content creator. Because if I wasn't, I wouldn't watch stuff like this. But I'm going to say why it's good to see stuff like this, y'all. Because when you see another woman who's not involved give her ideas of how she interpreted this, because I've said time and time again, y'all, women, they put their own mental attitude on men. So you see, maybe this would have went through a woman's head had she been on time for a date, and the guy would have been like, maybe that's something that would have went through a woman's head. I can't say that that's not possible because we just saw this stuff come up in her head. So some of them just be confused or whatever, and because they're trying to mentally make it make sense the way they want it to make sense. I do not believe women don't understand what's going on. I think black men give way too much grace saying that they don't understand. They clearly understand. It was obvious as heck what the problem is. The man literally spoke what the problem is, and then the problem was not dealt with at all. As far as I'm concerned, not in a timely fashion. She did, okay, she said, okay, I'm sorry. Now, the thing is this, y'all. When did she say I'm sorry? Now, we weren't there to see. I bet money she didn't immediately say I'm sorry once he had to actually say what the problem was. I believe she didn't say that right away. Now, why do I believe she didn't say that right away? Because she made a whole video about this and didn't say how I should have did this or I should have did that. So she clearly don't want to see the problem. And I don't know how you help a woman that don't want to see the problem. But I got two more guests up here. Let me let them chime in for a hot second. So Yitch, don't get too comfortable. Yitch, don't get too these names y'all be coming up with be something. We go get you in, and then let's get Tunnel Runner in right behind you. So go ahead, Yitch. Don't get too comfortable.
Good morning, Roger. Happy Wednesday, everybody, man.
Good morning, brother. May I say
Happy
real
yeah.
quickly? May I say real quickly? It's kind of obvious to me what you're getting at with that name. You know, I understand what you're getting at. It's kind of obvious. I think it should be obvious to anyone. But go right ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Ed gave them the blueprint. You know, how dare you disrespect my time? I showed up on time, and you decide to just show up whenever you feel like it. And that's not even thinking or taking into account whether or not she was dressed down for the occasion, because many of these Cheerios, they always say that if they go out with a man and the man is not doing X, Y, Z, it will reflect on how they dress. So m- maybe he showed up a little trashy. That wouldn't be out of the ordinary either. So not only she might be late, but she may not be looking the part. So Ed, who got slandered, Ed got up and Ed say, yes, don't get too comfortable. You're going home now. Bye. I'll see you around.
You know what? Ed seems to have a decent head on his shoulders. That's all I know about Ed. He seems to have a decent head on his shoulders. But Tunnel Runner, you got the mic, my brother.
Okay, am I coming through clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Ed said, "Look, don't play me, Ho. You late. If you ain't late, you need to apologize right away and be humble. Otherwise, you need to be gone." So he's trying to be the king, and he's looking for a queen, and she wasn't fitting the categories that he needed her to fit. So he let her know, and she's shocked because most guys don't do that.
Okay. Now let's let a little more rock. Go ahead, Compassion Cat. Let's let a little bit more rock before I say some other stuff here.
Icing me out the whole time. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, he's really not feeling this. So I'm not going to waste my time because I don't feel like I have anything to say. I kept in communication with him the whole entire time. I let him know that, hey, I'm supposed to be parking, all that stuff, whatever. I let him know what was going on, but he was icing me out real bad. And I'm not in the business of like trying to turn a situation like that. I don't care how cute you are. That I think that was just the rudest thing ever. And so I was just like, hey, I have to attend to my parking, so I actually cannot stay that long. So I gotta go tend to it. And he looked at me with the most bitchiest look I've ever seen in my life. And he said, good night. I was like, oh, okay. So I just got up and pranced right back to my car. And on the way there, I was feeling like, or on the way to my car, I was feeling like, freak, like, how am I feeling, right? Because this is actually the first date I've been on since 2019. It's the first date I've been on since 2019. And, guys don't approach me really. And lately, the guys that have been approaching me have been like club promoters and all that stuff. So it hasn't been like the best feeling lately because I wanted to jump back into dating, but I was telling, some people, I was like, man, I'm too scared. I don't know if I could handle all of this, I got out of a very abusive marriage. It was very toxic. My friends that were my ex's friends were absolutely horrendous to me. That's a whole nother story for another day. So I was really apprehensive. And like when this happened, I was just like, at first I was like, dang, I suck, don't I? I didn't even say sorry. But I was like, I didn't even get a chance to, I didn't even know if it was him when I was.
You know what?
Ooh,
She did
when you
not
get
get a
done,
chance.
I want to say something when you get done. Go ahead.
Well, she didn't get a chance to say she was sorry, y'all.
Hmm.
The thing that they standing on is that she was in communication with the gentleman, but she didn't get a chance to say she was sorry. She's in communication with the gentleman, but she didn't get a chance to say she's sorry. And I know it's not necessarily a real word, y'all, but I do believe women thinking these what I call oxymoronic terms. Now, I know that I'm sure people understand what an oxymoron is. Now, oxymoronic is not necessarily a word, but
We
you
gonna put
you
it.
get what I'm
We
communicating here to you.
we gonna publish that in Webster today. Don't worry about it. We got you. Go ahead.
So the woman who's standing on the fact that she was in good communication the whole time is now telling me that she didn't get a chance to apologize. And when she felt she was being iced out, as she called it, I think that was a pretty good term. When she felt like she was being iced out, she said, I'm not going to waste my time. That just kind of do something. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm gonna let Kev get in real quick. Kevin, since you said you want to say something, I'm gonna let you get it next, and then we're gonna give it to Compassion and Kaz because he done came up, y'all. He done came up. So go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So she proved the point that I was making was about the fashionably late. See, she said she hadn't dated since 2019. She still think fashionably late's a thing. She still think brothers is still playing that game. You know what I'm saying? And the way she described this brother, she really liked this dude. She was really attracted to this dude. And the way she describes his demeanor in parts is not consistent. She said he's being quiet, he's chewing his food, and he's being silent. How's he having an attitude and being silent at the same time? The dude's giving you opportunity after opportunity to get this thing right, and he just quietly dismissed you. That's all that's happening. Man, I'm proud of this brother. Thank you, Mr. Ed. Thank you. Go ahead,
Shout out
bro.
to Ed, whoever you are and wherever you may have to be. Shout out to Ed. All right. Compassion and Kaz came up, brother. What you got for us, my brother? What you got
Good,
for us?
bro. Great topic. What's good? What's good? Panel chat. Yeah, I just had to come up because of the what I heard the inconsistencies in this story. But let me if you would allow me, Rod, let me rewind to her recounting exactly what happened, because you just pointed out that she said she didn't get a chance to say sorry, right?
That's what she said.
That's what she said, right? So let's go back and let's see how she recounted the events. Because let me make sure I'm not tweeting.
Okay.
Traffic is absolutely crazy, and I have to find parking, so I don't think I'm gonna get to you till about 7:15. So he asked me if I was driving Uber, and I told him I was driving. Found a spot though, paid for it, and dashed over to that place. When I get over there, his back is facing me. So I'm like, hey Ed, how are you? And he ignores me, and I'm like, okay. I'm like,
He did not answer.
hey Ed, how are you doing? And he's eating. He's like, he takes another bite. He takes another bite now instead of saying something. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, he's probably pretty pissed.
And this is where I lose respect for him, because she communicated.
I'm like, what? He was like, I'm waiting for something. What do you think I'm waiting for? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, what time are we supposed to meet? I was like, 7 o'clock. And he's like, what time is it now? I was like, oh, it's 7:23.
How dare you show up 23 minutes late? And this is where I feel like this is his ego talking. Because
And he was like, yeah, so you're not sorry that you're late? And I'm like, well, I didn't even get to that. I was, but I didn't want to start off the conversation by arguing, because that's not me. So I was like, I just closed my eyes for a split second, sat back, and I was like, oh, it's just, I was greeting you first, and I'm really sorry that I'm late.
Hold on. Objection. So this is her recounting verbatim what she apparently supposedly said to him when they sat down. She said clearly, as you can hear the record. She said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was late," and she's going to go on explaining why she was late. But then you can see later in her recording this, she said she didn't get a chance to say I was sorry. So what I'm pointing out is she's a liar, basically. Basically, dude treated her this rudely because she refused to say I'm sorry. She never actually told him I'm sorry. She sat down and probably gave all the excuses and expected him to just say, all right, never mind. But it never came. And she admitted it by the end of the story, where she went back to the car and said, damn, am I an asshole for not saying sorry? Because that's what she said. So she never said I'm sorry, but she's giving us an account where she includes the I'm sorry.
I got to say,
Very, very observant.
shout out to that great piece of Perry Masonish type work right there. Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate that big time. Real talk.
And that deserve it. Gotcha, bitch.
All right. We got two other gentlemen that just came up, so let me let them get the mic. I'm gonna go with Inspired True Broadcast first because he be having time issues sometimes. No disrespect to Shark Sims, of course. No disrespect. Inspired True, you got time issues? You want to get in there first?
Yeah, I'm just gonna probably just drop an opening statement and then kind of bounce. But like good word, compassionate cows, you nailed that one right there, brother. This is kind of like just. Oh, by the way, am I able to be heard?
No, we hear you fine, brother.
You're clear.
Okay, good. Yeah, so like this kind of like harkens back to what we often talk about whenever we see a lot of these different clips. Is basically, it's not about what they say; it's about what they do. Like over and over and over again, we'll hear all kinds of narratives and stories and kind of attempts to warp reality and bend it to their will and whatnot. But at the end of the day, like, what did she actually do? What did she actually display? She displayed that the guy that she was attracted to was somehow the person that's supposed to be the servant while she's the prize. Like, but
Yes.
it defies all kinds of logic, all kinds of belief. And then she displayed with her actions that she really was on that she really believed that, okay, I'm going to show up. I'm not even, we agreed to a time. I'm not going to show up on time, and displayed every step of the way. Didn't even like apologize for it. Just gave, oh, well, this happened, that happened, blah, blah. Every step of the way showing that, okay, I want you, but by the way, I'm the prize. So it's really all about, like, at the end of the day, going back to the actions, like whether it's this clip, the next clip, or anything else that we see that's displayed. It displays a sense of entitlement and basically a belief in their superiority, one way or another. It comes back down to that these ninjas are beneath us.
All
And I'll
right.
land with that.
I think you kind of on point. Shark Sims, you got it, my brother.
Hey, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Man,
What's
I'm
up,
doing
bro?
okay, y'all. I'm late.
I ain't mad at you. You better hurry your ass up next time, though. but, but it's funny. I was listening to it. Really killing me by having us listening to it again because I had to listen to it before, and that fat chick was just killing my ears. But I'm gonna say it's very funny. Like I told you guys before, once you make her moist, she ain't got no choice, right? So she says she's gotten out of an abusive relationship, right? But then she says she meets a guy on the train who was handsome, but the conversation was kind of weird. And then she goes on a date with him. I don't think she's a good decision maker. And to back up why I know she's not a good decision maker is because she tried to drive to Manhattan at 6 o'clock p.m. Everybody knows that's not worth it. Like, so when he told her that, he was basically letting her know, and she probably took it as mansplaining or, oh, you trying to tell me what to do, but he's probably just giving her advice like, damn, you messed up by doing that. Like, you could have just jumped on the train. That would have been a good 30 minutes, and you could have been here a little bit before you were supposed to be here. Second, like, third of all, when you go on a date, ain't you supposed to be there a little bit earlier?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
If it's the first one, especially. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say thank you, Shark, for saying what I was thinking. But I'm not a New Yorker. I'm not a New Yorker. So this is one of the great things about having people come up who will spit the real, y'all. So now we got a New Yorker who came up and then said, for clarity purposes, that was just a dumb idea. Why would why would you do that? And I'm gonna say this too. I did actually think about this. If I'm trying to meet you in today's time, if I'm a woman, wouldn't it have been better if I just took an Uber so I can blame the driver? I can at least blame
Yep.
the. Look, Ed. I do apologize. I know this is our first time going out. Man, I am in this Uber. This guy does not know what he's doing. He taking me in circles. I'm trying to get to you. As soon as I can get him together, I will be there. Now, at least I got. Now we see women blaming other people for stuff all the time. That would have been the perfect time to blame somebody else. And Ed would have kind of probably, I believe he would have accepted it because you're telling me somebody else is creating a problem that you couldn't foresee. Because you can't foresee the Uber driver being lost. It's not something you're going to foresee. Could have shifted the blame, saved the whole thing. But I think this is why I say that people got to get past their own egos. I think this was just her not being able to get past her own ego. And that's how this got ruined right from Jump Street. And I think the other woman just wanted to be on the woman's side because she was a woman.
No, she just don't know no better either with a dumbass. But what I was trying to say though is you don't like unless she was dressed to the nines with some like 5-inch heels on and a nice little short dress and you know what I mean. Yeah, I could see you taking an Uber. You know what I mean? Because I don't want any chick like shouldn't be on the train at that type of day like just looking like that. You know what I mean? Because you can't really defend yourself with 5-inch heels on, et cetera, et cetera. So you jump in the joint. But the way she's looking right now, like yeah, you could have jumped your ass on the train literally, and got there on time with a little bit of time to spare. But she's trying to be extra.
There's a
She's trying to be all brand new, fly, show him that she got a car. Because remember, they met on the train.
That's a good point.
Good
Oh, here's
point.
another thing that comes to mind is that the framing of like the heavy set lady that's reviewing this is kind of like framing the guy as if, oh, the guy's controlling, and then you have like the little clip where she's talking about like her ex or whatever. So it's like still kind of like that framing of a guy having any standards as being something as abusive. It's kind of conflating the two.
As always, it's always Jermaine's fault. When
yes.
in doubt, blame Jermaine.
There's two. There's two fundamental things to black women that are going on here. One, they're perpetual victims. So that's why she's talking about her ex that has nothing to do with none of this. And I don't believe nothing about when a woman says abuse. And the second thing is when a black woman first meets you and you have interest in her, she has interest in you, the first thing she wants to do is put your ass in your place. That's why they running late. They showing you up front. I don't respect you like that. Even
Uh
if I
oh.
like you, even if I'm attracted to you, I don't
Uh
like
oh.
you. I don't respect you like that.
Uh oh. Too
Hmm.
much obvious going on right
All
now.
right,
Too much. All right, well, Rael has come up, y'all. Rael has come up, so let's let him get it in. Rael, you have the mic, my brother.
Peace, Roger. Peace of the panel. Peace of the chat.
Peace, bro.
um, there's a saying that you don't get a second chance to make a first impression, and um, this is this is the reason why. Um, Number one, I mean, she's been in New York long enough to understand how traffic works there. Number one, um, I would I was going to say what Kev said too, as far as like it's a power dynamic. in terms of putting you in your place, letting you know who's in power. A lot of times, these females will actually. Somebody needs to mute up. Um, they will they will purposely be late to show you who's in control, like Kev was talking about. So you got that going on. Also, there's a certain thing called etiquette that really comes into play here. When you aggrieve someone like she did and being late, because obviously she was so late that he was able to order food and start eating. So that means he had been there for a certain amount of time to the point he was hungry enough to order his food and was like, he's not going to wait. If she really wanted to really kind of make him whole, she could have apologized, but she also could have demonstrated um, how sorry she was by offering to pay for his food and saying, "Hey, let's try again. Next time it'll be on me too." That could have probably reeled him back from where he was because he was. I mean, we all know like when you're hungry, like you ain't in the best mood. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not going to be in the best mood, especially if he obviously got there early. So he was sitting there waiting for a while. He probably didn't eat anything because he wanted to wait to he and her were able to sit down and eat together, and that would have probably gone a long way with him in terms of showing. Because me personally, I just don't. I never accept. Um, I never accept. Somebody needs to mute up. I never accept apologies from females because they're never sincere. Because their behavior shows that they typically offer an apology because they're they don't want to lose a position, not because they're really trying to be sincere and be whole with you in terms of like being apologetic. And that's why, I said it in the chat, I tell females all the time, like if you do the right thing, you don't have to offer apologies. Because for some reason they think that an apology is a magical thing, like it just makes everything okay. And it's not. And if the situation was reversed, I guarantee you the female in this video would not be saying the same thing. She would have been talking about how he should have planned better and he's the man and all this other nonsense. This gender-based stuff that has nothing to do with gender. Her being late has everything to do with her not properly managing her time. And as far as I'm concerned, he was in the right for not feeling her the way he wasn't.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna say he gave her grace because he was still there at 7:23. He could have just got up and left. That's real talk. And I don't even think he was going outrageous. My perception is he probably just got like some kind of appetizer. I don't know what type of restaurant they went to. I didn't catch that. But maybe he had like some chips and maybe some sauce, like just something to start with while he's trying to give her a chance to get there, which she didn't do. And my thing is, why is it so complicated? Once you knew you were going to be late, you liked the guy, why not say, I'm sorry when you found out you were going to be late in the text, and I will communicate with you just to keep things, let you know where you are, because I don't want this to be an issue for you. And if it is an issue, you can tell me now, because I know I'm in the wrong. I think that would have just went over way better. People are late. That's just something that happens in life. There's people who go way out their way to never be late, and even they have been late. I know people who will do stuff so they can be there an hour early. And certain folks, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just say certain folks say if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. Now I get it. It's a guy, maybe you don't care about him as much or whatever case, but y'all, this is trying to make at least the first date impression. Because they met somewhere. Why would I be late on the first date? I mean, if you're gonna be late, why don't you do that on 7, 8, or 9? Why be late on the first date if you actually like this guy?
Oh, imagine if the roles were reversed and she was paying for it. Like, hey, I don't really like you. I'm gonna go and how about I want to take you out? You show up and she's eating there. Like, if I show up and the girl that is eating there, I know the date's done. Like, you you better be coming out of pocket to pay for that meal or something, because that's the worst sign. If that's the end of the date, basically.
All right. Now, Jado done joined us, y'all. Jado has joined us, so I'm gonna go ahead and give Jado the mic. What you got for us, brother?
Jado.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Well, Roger, I hope y'all doing well,
What's
man.
up? What's
Peace,
up?
CP.
Hey,
What's
Jado.
good, man? Hey, my 2 cents, I'm gonna have to get out of here real quick, but I looked at the video, man. She's lying, man. She's lying about the whole thing. A lot of people want to point to the last thing that happened, and they don't want to go into the context of before, man. I think she was out of pocket well before she showed up late. Well before she showed up late, and he just had enough, and that was the end of it right there. That was the icing on the cake. She was already out of pocket. So I think Shark, you brought it up. They were having a conversation on the train, and it was weird or whatever she said. Oh, no, she was out of pocket, man, already. And I think he was trying to give her a chance. And on top of that, she was late. And now she's going to say, "Oh, that he was out of pocket for." No, he was kind of done with her already, man. That's what I get from it, man. And I trust my instinct, man. I'm usually I'm usually right. She was already out of pocket. Now she's on there advertising for other men. So hopefully somebody will be like, you know what, you know what, he was wrong. I got you, baby. I'll take you out. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Thanks for having me up, Rock.
I'm gonna say that's a very good point, Jado. Very good
Hmm.
point. And I
Yo,
guess
Roger, can I ask a question, right?
well, let
Why
me
you
say
don't?
this real quick. I guess she is looking for other people to be 23 minutes late. You could be 23 minutes late with me. Matter of fact, Tanner, did I give you an opening statement?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did. But I just wanted
Okay.
to say one thing, Roger. He did the worst thing he could do. Ed did the worst thing. He knew his worth. He knew what his worth was. And he didn't let no woman
Hmm.
disrespect him by coming late. He knew his worth. And they don't like that. They don't like you to know your worth. These girls get messed up on that. If you know who you are and what your worth is.
I'm
Well,
saying, like, look, we got, and I ain't trying to, we got what we call CPT time or color people
yeah,
time or
color people
whatever.
time.
Like, man, look, man, we're very gracious and lenient with people, especially you. Like, I guess it was in New York, and we dealing with traffic. We're lenient with that. She was already out of pocket again, and she pushed it. That was the last straw, man. And he was done with her, man.
Okay.
And what did
I-
and what did Ed said? What did Ed said? Bitch, don't get too comfortable.
Now, inspired true, was that you who was about to say something? Because I'm finna give Black Who the flow, y'all.
No, that was me.
That was you, Shark. All right, say
Yeah,
what you want to say, and
I
then
want.
let's get Black Who right after Shark, y'all.
It's either these stories are fake, or black men or the men that they talking about. These dudes really need to come in and tell their sides of the story. But a lot of times, I think these stories are just made up so they could just sit in the car and just talk about whatever. You know what I mean? Because I don't see who gets on the internet and tells an embarrassing story like this.
Dummies.
Well, we do got to account. Do they really believe it's actually embarrassing? Because you do get support. Because the other woman who came, the commentary on the story is a person supporting her,
All right,
and
you
I
got a
do
point.
think
You got a point. Yeah, you're
yeah, I
right.
think
All
they
right.
look for that. So they want somebody. It's confirmation bias. People out here looking for. It can't be my fault because he a nigga. That's what I think. Now, keep in mind, even though he's Jamaican, the woman don't sound Jamaican who was participating with the date. So I think she just, well, he still got black skin. He just a nigga. How can I be wrong? But I'm gonna get it to Black Uru.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Black Uru. How you
Thanks
doing,
for
brother?
having me, Roger. I'm good. I hope I'm coming in clear. If
Yes, sir.
not,
You are.
please let
You
You
me
are.
know.
good?
No, you fine.
Yeah. I'm going to agree wholeheartedly, as often is the case with Jado. I think that there was some signs of estrangement between them from the very beginning. Assuming this is an authentic story, I don't have any reason thus far to think otherwise. When she said that she alluded to him saying something strange or talking strange in their initial encounter, what that says to me was he was probably trying to lay the law down during that initial encounter. And so he probably went into that thinking, well, I'm gonna, meet with her and see how it goes. But from the perspective of this shit will probably go left, and I'm preparing myself to get rid of her ass sooner rather than later. And so when she got there late and all the circumstances, and I agree, look, I'm a Chicagoan. There's no fucking way I'm driving into Manhattan, New York City in the middle of rush hour. No way I'm doing that. I've been in Manhattan in the no way I'm doing that. As a Chicagoan, I'm doing that. So no way I'm doing that as a New Yorker. So to me, that right there is a fireable offense. I mean, that right there says to me, this bitch is crazy. You know, so I just think he knew it wasn't really going to work. Maybe he was just going to see how it was going to go. He conveniently situated himself to see how it's going to go. And any evidence at all she proved to be where he presumed she would be, he was going to drop her ass off. And that's why he was so prepared to so quickly get rid of her, because he had already predetermined this shit probably ain't going to work anyway. So I agree, Jado. It was foul from the get go.
Okay. So the grace was off just by him showing up to even do the. It was already
It
grace in
probably
play.
was some. It probably was some place that was convenient for him to be at, you know. And I'm just gonna see how this bitch act, and I'm not gonna make it any. I'm not gonna make it at all inconvenient for me. And he probably had some shit lined up, with somebody else or some business shit or whatever. So let me get rid of her, and so I can get to what's really important to me.
Yeah.
That's what that sounds like to me.
I think he gave her. They were on that train, and maybe one of them they were commuting from work or whatever, and he gave her some grace. Oh, she got off work. Maybe she had a bad day or something. I'm gonna give her a chance. And he gave her a chance. Like you said, that was the last straw. It was like, okay, on top of that, you're gonna be
Look,
late too. Come on, man.
her driving into Manhattan to me was a fireball.
Yeah.
And I don't even live in New York. No way. This bitch is crazy. What is wrong with her?
Now I'm gonna say, as a
How are you
Chicagoan,
driving?
yeah, as a Chicagoan, I do know a woman wants me to.
In New York City, in Manhattan, you see taxis and limousines primarily driving. Well, at least when I was coming up. Now you see Ubers. Taxis, Ubers, and limousines. You don't see too many regular commuters fucking driving into Manhattan in the middle of a rush hour. That just don't happen.
Now I'm gonna say, as a
Yeah,
Chicagoan,
they actually taxi drivers too in New York too. So it's
yeah,
actually more expensive to drive
Yeah, the
in New York.
congestion price, the congestion fee. But Uber, people do drive in Manhattan. That's if they're already at work. But nobody goes home, gets their car, and drives back into Manhattan
That's
at them
backwards.
hours.
No, into
That's backwards.
Manhattan during rush hour. I'm not saying out of Manhattan during rush hour. I'm talking about into Manhattan in rush
Yeah,
hour.
copy.
Who's doing that?
Mm-hmm.
and I
Ooh,
was.
got the best rats ever. The best.
Well,
Go ahead, Roger. My bad.
no, hey, you just keeping it real. You just keeping it real. No, I'm saying, as a Chicagoan, I do understand a woman wants me to pull up in a car. I get that. But my whole thing about New York is it's expected for you to be on the train. I'm gonna say it like that. It's expected for you to be on the train. People from New York say there's no point even buying a car. If you're gonna be in New York, what you gonna get a car for? It's redundant to a certain degree, or it's not. It don't even make sense to buy a car. You're never gonna find a place to park when you move it, and traffic is so congested. You ain't gonna get nowhere any faster. So what's the point? So, you know,
People suffer indignities to ride the train because of how crazy the fucking traffic is in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
You all
yeah.
see the shit that goes on trains in New York. That's because the fucking traffic is so crazy that you got all these crazy people coming together in public transportation, and people endure that so that they don't have to drive. So for a woman to drive into that, into the most stressful time of that, what the hell is she thinking? And then she says, "Well, I got to hurry up and leave anyway, cause of parking." Bitch, why you drive here to begin with? Didn't you all hear her say that?
She
Yep.
did say that.
So how long were you gonna be here? It probably cost her $150 to fucking park the. That's crazy. She crazy.
And that
She
Crazy.
part was
crazy.
disrespectful. That was disrespectful in itself to say, well, I gotta go check. Like, who, like, you going on a date and man, these chicks is different these days, man. Y'all, I'm telling y'all lucky y'all married, who's ever married and shit like that, because y'all wouldn't want to have to deal with this shit.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. If I was single out here, it's just hookers. It's just hookers, and I got a hooker retainer, and
All day long.
there's no way
Y'all,
I would be
y'all,
out here
y'all,
dating, man.
y'all,
All
No
day
way.
long.
y'all know she
Hey,
made this
Roger.
video. She made this video because she asked him for his number. Because whenever we ask them for their number and they're attracted to us, they brag about it. Oh, he asked me for my number. She never said that. She asked him for his number. She darted into
Yeah.
the restaurant after she finally found parking. Bro, she was trying to hurry up and get to this brother. That's why she made this video.
And, and,
Mm-hmm.
It's hurting her
and he high
feelings that
value,
she was
and
dismissed.
and Kevin, he high value man her ass too when she got there.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
he did.
Yeah,
Hit
he
her with
did.
the stiff
He
arm.
high value man her ass when she got in there. Had her back turned to her ass. Finish his food before he said anything to her. That motherfucker
She
ain't
she
playing,
she
man.
tried she tried to front on him and he said, "Pardon my back." That's what happened. She tried to front on him and he said, "Pardon my back."
All right, tell her what was you about to say?
I was about to tell the brothers. I said I was born in money making Manhattan, and all you got to do is get there 2.5 hours early, and you will get there right there on time, 5 minutes before you're supposed to be there.
Just 2.5. That's
Right,
it. Not
right.
3. Just two and a half
Oh,
hours.
multiply times two, then add an extra parking time period, an extra hour to find parking once you get to Manhattan.
And
Man,
have
Come
an
come
on,
extra
on,
man.
bro.
twenty
That's
five
what.
dollars
Who
for
does
toll.
that?
You need an extra $25 for toll. How much the dude said? About $100 to park for about 35 minutes.
Now,
That's
my thing
that
is
is why they get on that subway. Go ahead. Go ahead.
now,
My
no.
bad.
Honestly, I thought she probably just said something about I got to go get my car because she was salty and she wanted to look like she could somehow one up the situation or retain something. So I thought she was just kind of playing with that. Now, if it's that expensive, but you can't even park, you can't get like a 2 hour parking so you can have this dinner date
Bro,
or whatever, you know.
bro, her driving into Manhattan for somebody who lives in New York, that ain't a flex, man. That ain't a flex. Unless you telling me she's driving a fucking spaceship or something. That is not a flex.
Uh, well, I thought she was trying to flex
So
like,
that's
no, I
why
got.
he said he probably was as angry or confused by her driving as much as he was anything else. Because like you said, had he told her the Uber was late or some shit like that, he'd have been much more empathetic because, well, okay, she can't control that. And she's not foolish enough to be trying to drive here herself. Now he still might have figured why you just didn't hop your ass on the 110 or whatever numbers you all call those trains and bring your ass down here. But at least if she, like you said, if she's in the Uber, she's not necessarily controlling now, even that, to some degree is a little bit questionable. But I'm sure her driving was not a flex. You know, that was not anything anybody who knows the area would consider to be a wise thing for a woman to do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say, even though she told the story the way she wanted to tell the story, I did pick up a lot of arrogance in her, because you didn't think you needed to apologize. He really brought it to the forefront of what's the problem here. Oh, the problem is I didn't say I'm sorry, and she still wouldn't say it. Now I understand technically she said it, but shout out to Compassion Cows who made it very obviously no, she didn't say it, and I did say earlier I think she's lying. Just real talk. So I agree fully with Compassion and Callous that
Mhm.
she never said I'm sorry, because it was I'm her. Like the guy say I'm him. She was on some I'm her. I don't need to
Well,
apologize to you.
Roger, go back to her comment. See, the comment about her husband is the tell to me. That's the tell to me because what she trying to do is link this dude's behavior with her experience with her husband. So what this tells me is that she's used to doing this type of stuff. She's used to not prioritizing a man in his not only his presence but his time. And I remember something my homie said a long time ago. He was like, you could tell the type of dudes a female is used to dealing with based on how she treats you. And so for her,
Yeah.
not prioritizing a man, not prioritizing his time. There was a time where I grew up around my great grandmother who was so in tune with my great grandfather. She not only started making the dinner from scratch. She would do all the stuff. Uh, Shell the pea, take out your as far as the green beans and all that type of stuff. Like she would do everything from scratch. His dinner would be smoking hot when he came through the door. Like that's how in tune she was with him from a time perspective and his
Hmm.
presence. So this is easy. You know what I'm saying? And so for her to try to link him with what she claimed was abuse in her mind, holding her accountable for her bad behavior is abusive. That's how she looks at it. And you could tell why she's not married to that guy anymore because the fact that you would treat somebody or approach somebody that's new like this shows you that she never even prioritized her husband either, his presence nor his time, and that's why she ain't with his ass.
Well, I was gonna definitely get to the fact that she mentioned that husband. Now, I'm gonna agree with what you just said. Man, what you just said makes all the sense in the world. But I'm gonna say something I've said before, and I'm putting it back out there again. If you meet a woman and she's already divorced, her marriage wasn't even 10 years, that's a good indication she wasn't even trying. Now, this is what I'm gonna say. Based on how she looked, I don't believe she was married for 10 years. She just don't look old enough. She would have had to get married like super early, 18, 19, 20, have a 10-year marriage. Okay, that's going to put you around 30 years old right there. Be divorced, waited 5 years, then get back on the dating market. She says she ain't dated in 5 years. So is she including the day she had before she was married, or is she saying she got a divorce then waited 5 years? Because that's what I believe she's saying. I got a divorce, but I didn't really date. It was 5 years and now I went out. So what that tell me? You didn't have a 10-year marriage. You wasn't even serious about marriage.
But Roger, it ain't what she said. She see you gotta with these females, you gotta play detective, man. And so her saying that she hasn't been on a date in 5 years, she didn't say she ain't been with a man in 5 years.
No,
This is
She didn't
this
say
is
that.
this is the thing about this, man. It's like every like when you lie when things come into question, something significant about a story like this comes into a question. I have to question everything, man.
Yep.
That's
Everything.
true.
I don't even know if she even has a car, man. Let's be for real, bro. Like if I didn't witness this myself with my own eyes, I don't believe nothing she's saying, man.
Yeah.
Now,
Agreed.
now,
Unfortunately, man.
now what I want to say this too, because I get the point you're making, Rael. Because we don't know when she slept with somebody, which is very true. I wasn't even getting at that. I'm getting at the fact that if you deal with a woman who's divorced and she's not been married for at least 10 years, you're not dealing with somebody who's even good to go down that road with. Because if you're serious about marriage, how did it last less than 10 years and nobody died?
But
That's
hold on,
what I'm saying.
but Roger, the reason why I brought it up is for that very reason. If you out there getting banged on by other dudes, you're not going to prioritize this guy. You're not going to do that. He's not going to be a priority.
Hmm.
You would think that
That's true.
if you hadn't been on a date or been with a man in 5 years, and this was a guy you was really into physically, you would be trying to break your neck to try to make sure you make a good impression. After 5 years
Yep.
of not having a date, this is the
That's a
impression
great
you want to
observation.
leave.
That's,
This is the
that's a great
impression you want
You're
to leave
right,
with a
observation.
man.
Rael.
Like, nah,
You
bro, this dude.
you would be heartbroken that fell through. You'd be heartbroken that fell through. No,
Yeah.
Rael makes an excellent point. But like you say, if she's been out here getting her 2 a.m. wake up calls, then it's just one dude or the next. So it's just
I'm gonna
not
tell you.
quite as big a
I'm gonna
Wait,
tell
deal.
you.
but
I'm gonna
Rael,
tell you.
you make an
Hold on.
excellent point with what
Go
you
ahead.
said, Rael. But you gotta remember, for the last 5 years, these women been being programmed that you don't even have no value. You a nobody. Like men, they hate men, literally.
No, I'm gonna tell you. I learned this in the late '90s, bro. In Atlanta, hollering at chicks coming out of high school. You know what I'm saying? Because you coming out of high school, you hollering at whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's a numbers game when you're young. You don't care. But I started noticing very early how females would move, and what would happen was I realized, like, if I was talking to a female and then all of a sudden she went ghost, I learned quickly. I'm like, oh, she must have found some dude that she thought was better and she
Yep, she
moved
monkey
on.
branch. And that's what she.
But
Yep.
what they'll do is they won't end it with you. They don't say, hey, you know what? I found somebody that I think is better. It was nice talking to you, blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. Because if it goes sour with that dude, they want an opportunity to come back like ain't nothing happened. And then that's when I really started realizing, I'm like, man, these chicks is rude as hell, like out here, the way they move, you know what I'm saying? Because they'll
Hmm.
hit you 6 months, 8 months later, like, what's up? And you like, who this? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you? And then they'll get an attitude as if you're supposed to be just sitting there waiting for them. That's
Now
what
they'll
she
get an
did to him.
attitude because you deleted their contact,
You
right?
deleted
And
their
so when they
contact. Yep.
call or text you, you don't
Right.
recognize the number.
Like,
But
who
but
is
but
this?
And then
but
they
but
say,
but
Yeah.
you
that's
say,
the
who
point
is
that I'm
this?
making.
Oh, so you
R-
deleted my contact now.
Right. Right. So
Yo,
so
Rod, that
so
just happened to me last week, Rael. So I definitely
thank you.
understand what you're
Thank
saying.
you. So you know what I'm saying. So
Yep.
my point is that that's how she treated him, like he was supposed to just be there waiting for her.
Hmm.
That's my point.
And
That's
and I
how that's how
Because
they get down, bro.
he was a cute Jamaican guy that I was gonna fuck on this week. And damn, I hate that fell through.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I do
I mean, that's
believe
what
that.
it was.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I was just trying to make the point that if you are a man and you actually want something serious and you meet a woman who has already been divorced, if that marriage didn't go 10 years, if you gonna hit it, I get it. But anything beyond that is a waste of time. She don't take life that serious. Because a
She was
marriage is
she
one of the most important things you can do. If you're out in less than 10 years and nobody died, this is a person who
You
don't
know,
care about playing with your life.
when I was growing up, when I was growing up, and a divorced woman was a scandalous woman.
hmm
What was a hoe that other women would make a point of keeping away, particularly from their husband,
hmm
because once their marriage, you're dealing with several things. You're dealing with just the issue of sex itself, but you're also dealing with this destructive uh, quality, insurrective quality that they've adopted, and they
Yep.
now want to pass on to other people, particularly other women, other families, and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, destructive woman divorced woman is very destructive to communities, to other families, etc., because they encourage other women to get divorced,
Mm-hmm.
and they are not at all opposed to breaking up marriages.
And
Hey,
see the
Black
thing, Roger.
Uru.
Oh, go ahead,
And
Jay.
now, real quick, I think we discussed this on the channel before, Roger. But we were talking about it was an episode of Happy Days, man, where I guess it
Oh
was
yeah,
a
I
divorced
remember that.
woman in the
Yeah,
neighborhood. Yeah,
yeah,
so
and,
it was.
and all
Yeah.
and Richie's mother and everybody was like, "Get that hoe up out of here."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mrs. Cunningham and all of them was like, "We got to get her up out of here."
They were on high alert.
Alarm!
They were on
Alarm!
high alert.
Well, the thing is too is that this is a formerly married woman. So if no woman knows how important it is to prioritize a man, it should be a woman who has experience with marriage. This woman has absolutely no clue, which makes me believe that what Roger's saying is true. She got married pretty young. She probably was still out there in the streets with her friends trying to be single, live a single life as a married woman, and it backfired. And so again, this is a type of woman, and I'm just gonna say in our group in general, women just don't prioritize men in terms of their presence, in terms of their time. They literally believe, and I'm saying this more so from the fact that obviously they're not taught to, but also too, they're out there dealing with so many different dudes as well. They don't have to prioritize you. That's why it's such for them. It's such a like, well, what are you talking about? Like, but the funny thing about it is that it doesn't matter if she got you or you and 10 other dudes. When she wants to put her hands on you and you to be there, she expects you to be there. She's going to expect you to be there and make time for her. And so a lot of times what these chicks will do is they'll try to turn men into the bitches. Like you're supposed to be just sitting there by the phone, waiting on the phone call, that type of thing. And so she just never came across a dude, you know what I'm saying, who was going to be very forceful and very open about his displeasure about her behavior. And so, well, it probably happened in the marriage too towards the end, that's why she's divorced. But he probably put up with a lot of her stuff before he just finally, called it quits. But she's not understanding, or she should understand as a formerly married woman, you have to prioritize a man. You know what I'm saying? You like a lot of times females, they think like men are supposed to just prioritize them, make them feel wanted. No, you got to make a man feel wanted too. And part of that is showing that you actually care about his time. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna not go outside of that bound of disrespecting his time. That's one thing that I just do not tolerate with females, like a disrespect of my time. That is a pet peeve of mine.
And
I'm pretty
I'm just
sure they
saying
had
this.
that conversation on the train. That's what she ain't saying. When they met on the train, I'm sure he told her when she was like, "Hey, maybe we," but I just want to let you know I'm sensitive about my time in whatever way he mentioned that. But she ain't gonna say that.
Yeah, well,
That's probably the weird part. Actually, that's probably what the weird part was.
yeah, because they not gonna give us the full context so we can make better decisions about the information we're receiving. And I'm just saying, I mean, this is
No,
probably some woman.
he probably told her dumbass not to drive down to Manhattan in rush hour.
which would
Real
also
talk, he probably did.
which will also make sense
And she
because
insisted on doing it anyway, which is why he cited it when they met up.
Right. It probably was. Didn't I tell your dumb behind not to drive? It probably was that,
Right.
but she's not gonna tell us that. And I'm saying that, you know, being realistic, I think this is probably a woman who was probably 26, 27 years old. You're starting to get old to be a single woman. She probably got married and got divorced within 2, 3 years. That's what I really believe happened. I don't think this is like a woman who was trying to do the right thing. She was a good, loving, caring woman, dated somebody around 21 years old and planning to live a real life with them. I think she just found some guy who was ready to get married. She wanted to take advantage of the situation, and it just didn't work to her favor the way she thought it was. So now she's divorced. She's not serious about men at all. Not that I can tell. You know, I don't think she's serious at all. And I think that's just one of the rules I believe men should pay attention to. You come across a divorced woman, she wasn't married for at least 10 years. Because I get an older man dealing with a divorced woman. You know what I'm saying? Because you got more life experience and things like that. You in your 50s, 60s, whatever. I get why divorce could be something. As a younger person, you in your 20s, your 30s, or even some, depending upon where you are in your 40s, I got to know how did you get married and get divorced? How you love somebody that much and you already divorced? I didn't even understand how that could even occur. So I don't even believe. So I had a whole different impression about the story. And then once I heard she was already married, I was like, oh, it's even way worse than what I thought it was. She told me a whole lot more by saying she was married before than this whole story even told.
That
That's what
makes
I'm
it
saying.
worse. That makes it worse. Being an ex-wife, that makes it worse. I mean, that truly makes it worse because when you're married, when you're married, your lives are supposed to be in sync with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, every day that y'all leave each other, whether y'all are young and married, you're at school or whatever the case may be, whatever it is, you're working jobs or whatnot. When y'all depart, y'all are supposed to be on the same page when you leave each other's presence. You know what I'm saying? So that that means you have to be in sync with what the man is trying to do. That means you have to be up under his leadership on that kind of level. You can't do what you just want to do. And so for her to be married, to really, because if she doesn't understand that, she's supposed to know that as a woman who's been married. For her to sit there and make a video not understanding why this guy wasn't feeling her, even though she was married before and she knows she's supposed to prioritize a man, like, how could you not know this? Like, that makes absolutely no sense. I mean, it really proves how poor of a wife she really was because she's acting like she's completely like I like I understand there's a learning curve, like being married, and then the environment is a little different. But as a wife, though, you're supposed to know to prioritize a man's time. Period. I don't care what you say. Like, there's just no way you cannot know that as an ex-wife. There's just no way you're not supposed to know that.
Yeah, and here's the thing too that I think men in general are learning begrudgingly. Maybe his being Jamaican maybe helps him from a more masculine standpoint. Maybe you're a little more not quite as gynocratic in terms of the upbringing. Maybe I don't know. You know, so maybe you can more directly assert your masculine position with women. But I think men are coming to more broadly realize that you really have to assert your stature and your position with women much more overtly and proactively than all this allowing this and allowing her being late and her being somewhat flippant, in her responses to things, her never apologizing. Like I said, to me, that initial encounter they met where she acknowledged there was strife, you know, she didn't use her terms, but she acknowledged there was strife in their initial encounter, says that he was attempting, in my view, to try to set that standard at the very beginning. And she pushed back on it. He noticed she pushed back on it, and that's why he could so easily sever ties with her the moment it was confirmed to him that she was what, like the late great what's the name? She was what, you know we thought she was.
Now,
What's it?
Uru,
Green. Uh,
now Uru, you
Dennis
said,
Green.
Dennis Green.
yo, Uru, you saying
Dennis
something
Green.
real true,
Shout out
but
to the late
the
great
catch
Dennis
is,
Green.
I don't,
Yeah.
for him to act like that, I think she was way later than 20 minutes. Because being
Me
from
Probably.
New
too.
York,
Me
Probably.
you
too.
already
Usually
have
they
that
fudge.
grace. Like,
Usually they fudge. Yeah. Usually they fudge the time.
so she could have been a whole half
Yeah.
an hour to like 40 minutes late. And by that time, you already, you know what? She luck like somebody said earlier, she
She
lucky he was still there.
she said she arrived. She said she arrived at 7:23. Hell, she probably hadn't found. She probably just had found the parking at 7:20.
Thank you.
Right.
I'm gonna say,
Yeah, some shit like that. Then it probably took an extra 20 and 30 minutes to get from parking to where he was. So yeah, you're probably right.
And Bryant Park, that's on 42nd Street. That's like right like 40 and 42nd and 5th area. It ain't no parking over there.
all right, now this is where, and
See,
shout out to you, Shark, for knowing the area. And this is where I gotta go in with she lying. Now, I'd make it clear. I believe women lie anyway. They're so used to lying, they don't even register to them. So how late was she? She's probably about at least an hour late. Now, why am I saying that?
Yeah, at least I would agree.
Because the date was
That's what I was thinking. She was at least an hour late.
what's that? That's that girl. That's that girl math. That's that new math.
Whole math.
It also affects. It also affects the clock.
I mean, he was
what,
eating when
what,
she got there.
what,
He was
what,
eating, so
what,
he had to be there at least an hour. He had to get there probably an hour prior to her
what,
getting there.
well, no, this is the thing. Because there is some math about a restaurant and a table and actually having food to eat. If you got there at 7 and you expect the date to start at 7, you're going to give somebody some. He obviously gave her a grace period because he was there when she got there. So a grace period was given. So what's the
Yes,
grace period? 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes? Okay, she's still not here. Let me order something because I am hungry. They got to go prepare whatever he ordered. Could have been an appetizer. No, maybe not as dramatic, but they still got to prepare the food, bring it out to him. He got to actually start eating. She was probably at least an hour late. Now, 23 minutes sound much better because what have I said time and time again? Black women care about their image more than anything else. So I'm going to tell the public that wasn't there, I was 23 minutes late, but he
That's
took another bite. See, my thing is, once you told me he took another bite, you didn't realize you told on yourself because you told me that man was going to meet you at 7. He had to get frustrated enough to even order the food. The food had to be prepared, sealed, brought to the table, and you actually called him when he was already eating the meal. This sounds about at least an hour late.
hour.
and,
Yeah, that's what I've
and
been thinking the whole
he
time.
would not, if they was supposed to be there at 7, he would not have gotten to the point where he was ordered. It would have been 20 minutes probably or more before he even decided to order that food. He wouldn't
He
have
stayed to prove
immediately
a point.
ordered that food at seven
He
yeah.
o'clock.
stayed to he stayed to prove
You
a
know,
point. He stayed to prove a point.
he would have been there at least 20 minutes
Yep.
and had to have been particularly hungry before he even ordered that food. So you're right. There's no way he was eating a meal at 20 some minutes into a date that started at 7 o'clock.
No,
No,
no.
Man,
you're right. No way this
that's
On
why
top of the
when
15 minutes it take for your plate to come out.
that,
How many
happened.
that's
how
why,
many of
man.
y'all eat y'all appetizers with pork?
When when I hear stories like this from
That's stupid.
when I hear stories like this from black women, when I hear that, I kind of don't believe anything they say, man.
Nothing. Nothing.
I mean,
Hmm.
unfortunately, especially when you
I'm with you,
start
J Lo.
digging, man, like you gotta throw the whole thing away, and then you gotta
Hmm.
figure out what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I
And,
agree with everything you guys are saying.
and Roger, she told on herself because she said that her husband's friends were telling
Yep.
her
Yep.
that she was. And she also said to herself, she's talking to herself now. She's saying, "Am I the asshole? Or am I, So she is, she's not. She's not. a very good woman. Let's put it like that.
I was gonna say I was gonna make that point. I forgot. I was gonna make that point too. Her ex-husband friends not liking her, man, that's boy, that's all you need to hear right there. Dudes, man, when we see our man got a good woman, man, like we gonna do our best to help him keep her. Like, hey man, stay on point, dog. Like, hey, you got something good. When you don't get the approval of a man's his friends, oh man, you out of there. You out of there. You're done.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
mean,
because
you're done.
and even if the men don't like her, out of respect for their friendship, they're going to be nice to her out of
Mm-hmm.
respect because they don't want no beef with their friend. So for them for her to visibly know they don't like her, says
Mm-hmm.
she must have been a real bitch, man.
Yep. 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 And it's see females like these. See, these are the most dangerous ones to me. See, the Keisha with the attitude, like what she bringing. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's the more soft spoken ones that really get you hemmed up. You know what I'm saying?
That
They be
went
the
to
one.
college,
Yeah,
pledge
man.
Delta, all them kind of hoes. Yeah.
Yeah, dog. Because they fit or surface wise, they fit what people would think would be a good woman. People be like, man, like what's going on? Why you messing up? Like you like messing up, man. This bitch out of pocket, man. What are you talking about? And what the one of the first.
Guru, you said it better than me.
I mean, it's just one of those things, man. Like first of all, like if she was really a classy woman to me, she would have did a video of how she made it up to this guy. She just came back and she just said, you know what, I messed up, man. I was rude. I was late to a date,
Well, who
an
was the
hour
one
late.
who said that she could have offered to pay for his meal or
That was
buy
me.
him a
That was
drink
me.
or something like that?
That was me.
Yeah,
That
okay.
was me.
I mean, you're right. That would have been a very easy way for
Yep.
her to achieve several things. It would have, made up for what she had done, but it would have immediately distinguished her from probably 99% of the women he encountered. Because the vast
Yep.
majority of women don't even think to do anything like that. So if
Nope.
she had done that alone, that would have impressed upon him that she was a different quality of woman.
Yep. Yep.
But to be real, classy women don't sit in their car and make videos and telling their business.
Right.
That's
Right.
Well, we gotta use what we can to show how it is that it's sharp. So all I can do is thank them for being dumb enough to put this stuff out here. That's all I can do.
For
So
giving
thank
us
you,
case
lady.
studies.
Yeah, because the thing is,
but now here's the interesting thing. Now I gave him credit for being Jamaican, but it was a Jamaican hoe or some Caribbean hoe that was hosting this video that we saw. So this shit is spreading across the ocean.
Caribbean women might be the second worst women on the planet, bro.
Yo,
Yeah.
Uru, you said
Apparently.
so. You think the
Yeah.
Jamaican lady was in Jamaica making this commentary?
Well, I mean,
Well,
I'm just saying
they
maybe she's here, maybe she's not, but culturally it has jumped, you know.
Yeah, I feel you. I got you. All right, I understand what you're saying.
yeah, I think
well,
she's here. Yeah.
I think she's here too. I think she's here too.
It's just that she wanted to take the woman's side, regardless of what the facts were, because
Yeah,
it's so obvious how she
I mean,
messed up.
she may be here, but she must be new because that accent is thick as fuck.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Chantel Simone would have got a hold of this video, her response would have been completely different. And she's Jamaican.
Now I'm gonna forgive you for mentioning her name on my show, but it's all good.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Um, but my thing is this: she made a video where she had to do her own mental gymnastics to avoid what the problem actually was, because the man said what the problem was finally. So you heard it acknowledged. She acknowledged that the man literally called out the problem, which was her being late. her not apologizing for being late. So when you are content creator and you go over this, you got to do mental gymnastics to somehow avoid that as the actual problem. The man said what the problem was eventually. So how do you not deal with the actual problem when it was made clear what the problem was?
Let
You
me
have
ask
to
y'all. Let me
go
ask
ahead.
y'all a question. Let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all ever heard any white dudes that have dealt with black females complain about them being rude in general when it comes to situations like this?
Never.
Nope.
No.
I haven't.
Well, I remember
But
the story I
by
told.
the time they start acting rude though, Brad handle his business.
I know, but I'm just
If
saying.
you
But
know
in a
what I mean.
general sense, like a
That's
first
why
date
you don't
situation.
hear about it.
I'm
Right.
I'm
I'm
just
just
saying
saying.
what I'm.
By the time they start acting up, the reason why you don't see them act up is because usually something happens. By the time they start acting up.
I'm saying they're gonna more likely be on their best behavior, though. They're gonna more likely be on their best behavior, and if Brad got to go up top, they ain't gonna come out and say nothing anyway. So even then, they're gonna give him the respect of knowing that they was out of pocket and they got bopped upside their head. So my point is that when it comes to another demographic, all of a sudden they understand. It's this Jamaican video. What I don't like is the fact that this female is Jamaican, and she's trying to talk about another Jamaican dude as if in her home it wouldn't be this way. Like she would like he would tolerate it in Jamaica. Like no, he wouldn't. Like he would. That's how I know that she's still in. That she got to be in America. Cause she can't run. See, if you making those videos in Jamaica, people gonna see you in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? They gonna see
Yeah,
you. They gonna be like, man, you on that
they
BS?
gonna
Like, what
check
you talking about?
they gonna check her in Jamaica.
Yeah, they
They're
gonna
gonna
check her in Jamaica.
they're
She
gonna do
got
a
to be in
welfare
America,
check.
man.
Once they
Yeah.
recognize it, they're gonna do a welfare check.
Yeah, like for real, straight up.
Now, keep in mind, I did talk about. I was in downtown Chicago at a movie theater. I saw a black woman with a white guy. Got a little loud, getting a little feisty. Because I had never seen a black woman get into it with a white man before from a dating situation. I've never seen it. I literally ran down the escalator. I was jokingly saying I skedaddle for the people who saw it live. I skedaddle down these stairs just so I can see it go down. This was my first time being able to see a black woman, talk a little crazy to a white man. By the time I got downstairs, everything was fine. I thought she was gonna do. I was like, this is gonna be the first argument I've ever seen a black woman get into it with a white man that she with. It didn't happen.
You was on some National Geographic shit.
I'm telling you, bro. Bro, it was like I was at the Nile River trying to find a dinosaur. There's rumors they still exist out there, but nobody got the footage. I thought I almost got the footage. Okay.
Crikey. I see a wallaby at the wheel.
Right. Bigfoot was out there and I was trying to get him on camera. I couldn't get there in time. But let me go and give it to Perfect.
Man, listen.
But go ahead,
Well, perfect
Cambry.
time to
Go
go.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead and then let Perfect get in. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that black women need a PR firm for social media where they can send these videos in before they post them, and a black man can go over it and tell them these are the lies we gonna catch you in before you post this, so they can fix this. Cause they terrible at this, bro. They terrible. They think we stupid and we don't see the lies that they be telling, man. It is crazy, bro. Go
Kev,
ahead, perfect timing,
if
bro,
that's the
man.
point, Kev, if that's what it would be, that whole video would have been I just went on a date. Because they would have cut everything else out that goddamn video.
All right. Perfect. Go on, get in there, brother. Go on, get in there.
All right, y'all. All right. Good morning. Good morning. A couple things. I was busy, so I didn't get to hear everything Rael said. But as I was listening, I was thinking like Rael probably has some good words on this. Before I get to that, I would say there was only one perspective in the video, and that goes back to what I was going to get at about the mental health issue with this lady. There's only one perspective in the video. That's her perspective. So a lot of times women want to say, take me out to dinner and I need a date. And a lot of times we're reluctant to do that. But this was a gentleman, right? He actually never, I would do coffee or anything before a date for this purpose, right? But he actually made reservations. He showed up on time. And what's left out of the video is, if I'm in Manhattan, right, Elder Rael, if I'm in Manhattan and I've booked reservations, they don't hold those reservations. So he's sitting down eating because either I leave, right, or I assume my reservations. But if you're 20 minutes late, they don't hold the table in Manhattan for 20 minutes. I'm not P. Diddy. I'm not P. Diddy, right? So she's not even like, when he says good night and goodbye and the way he treated her is like, she is not the caliber of woman that I thought she was. I thought she was prepared for this level of treatment. I've already made reservations. You should already know reservations in Manhattan cannot be held more than 15 minutes. Right? So when you're telling me you're going to be more than 15 minutes late, the whole night is ruined unless I sit down and eat alone. That perspective is not given. It's always, he's mean, he was sad. It was, no. You are having dinner with the man you don't even know in Manhattan. He's gone to the lengths of booking reservations. And if you are too late, then the night is ruined. She leaves that out. She totally leaves that out. And to what I was mentioning about, Rael has helped me a lot in the past with individuals like this. And obviously when she gets into the fact that she has not gotten over her marriage and she has not truly understood why her marriage ended and possibly she was the reason, she's still blaming not only the ex-husband but external forces that could not even be in the house during the so-called abusive relationship. She's never done the heavy lifting, Rael. This is and when you read the book, some of the books Rael have given me, what they say is he did the right thing, because a lot of us, like Roger tries to teach, we want to put on our cape, we want to save these mentally ill women. But when I read these books, it said you should just find another woman, because a woman like this, she's going to need therapy, and every day of her life, she's going to have to address these mental health issues in order to be a regular and better person. She's not even, after 6 years of divorce, she hasn't faced her demons. She hasn't done the work. And after this debacle, she's still blaming externally. She cannot go inward to make herself better and do the corrective action. He did the right thing because this is a broken person. I hope you guys are watching the video and understand that a lot of the women that you deal with, you have these questions about, are mentally broken, narcissistic females from narcissistic mothers. They need a lot of mental therapy. But what you need to understand is, even with therapy, every day throughout their life, they are going to need to deal with these factors, and you are going to have to deal with them if you choose to deal with her. He did the right thing by telling her good night.
Did you say narcissistic or autistic?
Narcissistic.
You sound like autistic.
No, he said narcissistic.
Yeah,
I'm not. I know you said narcissistic.
She might be on the spectrum too.
You never know.
I'm just saying, sometimes when you hear this stuff, it sounds a little autistic to me. And I'm not saying this to put down autistic people. I'm saying there are certain autistic people that have real issues and they just can't get past certain levels and a lot of things in life. So they come off somewhat autistic to me. Because how many mental gymnastics did they have to do to put this video out and not deal with the fact that she was just late?
And unhealthy. A doctor should see this and say, a black female therapist should see this and say, you need to come see me, because you obviously have unresolved issues going back to 2019. And that's why she was late. That's why she drove her car. She had, what we haven't unpacked is, why did she drive? She was afraid. She was scared. She hasn't been on a date in 2019. She is dealing with some real serious mental health issues. Right? She never should have went on that date. She should have told that man, I'm not mentally prepared. Because he's like, why did you drive? That makes no sense. What did he talk about the other day, Rael? Avoid it, right? This is attachment avoidance at its highest level. She did everything she did that night so she can get rejected. her paying for parking that did not give her enough time, her being so late that she would not have to sit down and actually have dinner and conversate. That was all purposely by design. She lives in Manhattan. You think she don't know that a regular brother can't keep a reservation past 15 minutes? This was
Exactly.
avoidance attachment at its highest level. Everything she did was to prohibit herself from being in an intimate situation because she's not mentally prepared. Going back to 2019, this is an insane, unhealthy person.
Yep. Agreed.
I can't necessarily disagree with you. And like I said, once I even heard at the back in the video that she had been married before, it was bad enough just hearing the story. But then when I hear she was already married, I'm like, yeah, this is a broken lady right here. That's the nice way of me putting it. This is a broken lady. I don't like broken ladies. You know, nice looking broken lady. You know, but broken. And once you're broken, I don't care how you look.
He did the right thing. He did the right thing by ignoring her and giving her back the treatment that she gave him. A lot of us don't do that. We're still gentlemen. We're still chivalrous. No, I'm not talking to you. You get my back. You get my back. He didn't even argue or get upset. That was the most G thing about it. That's what made her feel so humble. You understand? Because everything that she was fearing didn't happen. She had to deal with the fact that it was all her. He didn't get upset. He didn't yell at her. He didn't call her out of her name. He said good night. He probably said it in that sexy gentleman Jamaican voice, real deep. That would make her rub on herself like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, hello, good night. Told that bitch, good night. Yeah, and she said she had to prance. She tried to shake that thing. He wasn't even looking. You get my back. You get my back. She had to question her existence, question her identity, question her character, question whether she's attractive. All of that is running through her head right now. She ain't gonna date again for 10 years.
I don't know if it's gonna take that long. Because if you know you messed up and you still trying to date now, I'm pretty sure she's gonna look for somebody else to take advantage of. Or somebody else's time to waste.
Someone else to blame.
Hold on, but what this video also shows is, I mean, you could clearly see the difference in the looks of both of these females, and how the Jamaican chick tries to falsely align herself with this particular type of female.
Wow.
Like this alignment of failure that you see amongst females is one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen in my life, because like it's like this Thelma and Louise type of mentality. You're going off a cliff, but you're smiling and laughing like you ain't about to die. Like, this is what's happening. You know what I'm saying? It's a social death. You know what I'm saying? Being perpetually single is a social death for women. It always has been, and it always will be. And so the idea that, oh, I found a video of a woman that I can be in alignment with to feel like I don't have to be a quality woman to get a good man, like this is some backward shit. And this female, she can't get the kind of guys that particular female can get. And yet and still she's trying to be in alignment
with her,
like she's fighting the same battle. It's like, nah, chick, you ain't got it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she don't ain't got it like that either. Because clearly the dude didn't give a shit about her looks. He's like, nah, I'm good on that. So the fact that he was willing to reject her based off of her looks, if he gonna reject her, what you think gonna happen to you out here? You know what I'm saying? If she's getting rejected, she got the looks. You ain't even got the looks like that. So to me, it's just, you see a lot of this false sense of reality. If you take away the makeup, the fake eyelashes, the weaves, and all that type of stuff, man, it's gonna be a lot of simple, plain Jane type of chicks out here. And a lot of the times, man, a lot of these females be buying into these false females who really don't really fit the bill. They do all this stuff on the outside, but they do no work on the inside. What Perfect was talking about. They're not going to do the work And the reason why they're not going to do the work is because they're going to have some stupid, goofy chick like this making the video trying to be in solidarity with some failure. Because that's all it is.
That's right. That's why the cute girls keep a fat chick around them.
Yep, all the time. Yep.
Well, and I'm gonna say black women. I'm gonna say it the way I think it was my guy uncles that said it the first time I heard it. Black women have a unique way of snatching defeat out the jaws of victory. That's what they do.
I like that.
Yeah. They regularly snatch defeat out the jaws of victory. You already got the win. The guy is attracted to you. You was attracted to him, so you already got the win. He already made the date with you. Everything was good to go. He showed up. He was ready to do his thing, and you find a way to mess it up.
Right. He was going to pay for dinner. In 2025, he was going to pay for dinner. Had we really discussed he was going to pay for dinner in 2025, you guys, without a call first?
Listen to what she said, though. She has not been in a relationship. She's been fucking, but she's not been in a relationship with a man for 5 years. So she don't even know how to act. Assuming she ever did, know how to act, because if she's pretty enough, she may not have never really known how to act. When you see pretty women 40 something, 45, 50 years old who don't know how to act because they think they never had to learn how to act. So the way I see it is this is a woman who might have never really had to actually learn how to act with a man. And by the way, that is something that mothers and aunts, that's some elder women were supposed to train them on, or at least provide the foundation for it. And then they kind of build on their own personal experiences, but they're not getting that. So she don't know. And like you say, this is some Jamaican guy. I'm sure he has some basic sort of standards about how a woman is supposed to comport herself and how she's supposed to interact with a man or something like that. So it probably went, like I say, I think it probably went left for him from the very beginning. And at that point, it was just like whether or not she was actually going to not confirm what he already suspected. And unfortunately for her, she did.
Her physical attraction for him overrode whatever weirdness she talked about, which probably was her trying to be dominant over him and he wasn't going to allow it. She still was willing to go with him, which shows that they will still choose just physical. Like that is a very feral mentality. Because I'm not. That is not me. Like it's never been me.
So another
if that, in that initial conversation that we have, if you on that BS, I'm not gonna take it further. I'm like, you got it, because I'm not. Because in that initial conversation with black females, typically, you gotta most times you gotta be willing to be subservient in that conversation.
But we got to take into account.
You gotta understand something. Well, I'm saying you gotta understand what is happening with them. They get these, if they're attractive enough, they get a procession of attractive men that, it becomes like a drug, like crack. But every time you have to take more crack to replicate the prior high. So, it's like this procession of men over the 5 years or whatever that she has been divorced, and they go from high to high to high. This is a cute guy. I have sex with him. This is a cute guy. I have sex with him. It's a high, high, high. But it grows in frequency. And that's why they usually end up, 50, 60, 100, 200 bodies in. Because it's not really just about the sex. It's about chasing the high that the new guy gives them, of the desire of the new guy. Yep. And that's how they end up becoming hoes. It's not just the dick per se, it's the chasing the high of that new guy gives them.
Yep. And I want to say too that we don't actually know what happened in the first interaction. What I believe she was doing, she was trying to talk down on the man which a lot of black women do when they start reporting about some guy they was interested in. But the thing is, how down can she talk on a man if she was on her way to the first date? So she just didn't have a good way to talk down on him. So she said he represented himself somewhat weird. I don't think he did at all. She just wanted to insult him because he didn't stick this date throughout with her. She got to insult him somewhere. See, she didn't have the luxury of being with him 5 years and saying that he always been a bum and he was always like this and he was always like. She don't have that luxury right now. She don't have enough information to really put him down. So all she can say is, well, he was weird when I met him at first. He was so weird that you went on a date. That don't even. I guess that's girl math. I've heard about this girl math.
She really was kind of just talking about him like in a fetishizing kind of way, actually.
That's what I want to get at.
And so because if shout out to my Jamaican brothers, you know what I'm saying? Shout out No Placeholder if he's listening. Like, how often have Jamaican dudes been described as weird? I've never heard that description of Jamaican dude, like, ever. Like, I've never heard any black woman ever refer to a Jamaican dude as being weird. You know what I'm saying? So that's weird within itself for her to even use that kind of verbiage to describe him. Secondly, like the fact, like I said, like she seemed to be more in her mentality, seemed to be more in a fetishizing kind of way towards him. Like she put a somewhat emphasis on the fact that he was Jamaican, as if like that was going to bring her a different response. It's like because what I find more times than not is that many times black females, the very things that black men hold them accountable for, they'll be willing to do that for the other instead of doing it for black men. And so to look at him in such a fetishizing way, as if like, well, it was weird, but you know what? I'm still going. Because the fact that she was willing to go out on a date would have meant that if he would have played his cards right, he could have tapped that ass. So you're saying he's weird, but because of his looks, you still gonna give him a chance? Like, that don't even make sense within itself. It's like, well, why you gonna be interested in a weird dude and possibly have some sex with him? Like, that's goofy.
If you've been on those streets for 5 years, fucking cute guy, then okay, yeah, he's weird, but I'm gonna fuck this cute Jamaican guy while he do that making thing he do.
I don't care what y'all saying. I'm giving him these draws. That's just what it is. Okay, he gonna get these draws.
That shit crazy, bro. That's some crazy shit.
So
I ain't gonna be like, man, she weird, but I'm gonna hit it like, nah, that bitch weird. I'm out.
This what it was. To Black Uru's point, she been out here fucking, right? But for a lot of black women, this is what it be, because I've been in this situation. She did not expect a man of that caliber. This was about her character, and she was surprised that he even approached her. In the first conversation, it was awkward because she did not know how to deal with a man in that level. She was surprised. Even in the video, you could tell she was surprised and she was excited. A lot of this happens a lot to me. This happens a lot with functional black men. You see an okay, cute black woman and you think she's on your level, and she's never dealt with anyone like you, and she's not willing to be honest about what's actually occurring. She's afraid and she's intimidated. That's why she said it was awkward, because she's never conversated with a black man on that level before. She didn't know how to relate. She was scared that night. So this was about her character, and she emphasized the fact that he was a handsome Jamaican so that every other black woman watching would know this was a badge, Rael. She wanted to check that box. No, this black Jamaican dude liked me. Irregardless if I was successful on a date or not, what she's bragging about is the fact that he was attracted to me. But what we're seeing through is the fact that he saw finally that she is not who she presented to be, right? And that happens a lot. Sometimes I'll get in an intimate situation and the woman will say, yeah, I'm a little intimidated by you, right? That when it's me and her alone, right? That is what was occurring. She was intimidated and she was surprised. She wanted to check this badge of honor. Like, wow, he like me. Because a lot of black women, they have this huge insecurity. They don't believe they are attractive, right? So when somebody attractive approaches them, 9 times out of 10, y'all, they don't know how to deal with it. And that's why she sabotaged this whole thing.
Well, I do got to, and I'm gonna get Bad Black Game in here too. I'm gonna say it is a badge of honor when someone other than an FBA man talks to them. That is a badge of honor for them.
Correct.
It just is what it is, and we can feel whatever we want to feel about it. But that is a badge of honor for them. So she wanted to brag and say this non-FBA man was interested in me, and I think because his skin is black, she still tried to treat him like a nigga. Because even though he not FBA, you know, you still come in the package of a nigga. So I'm gonna see if I can treat you like a nigga.
Hey,
But
shout out to that dude,
Exactly.
like, cause he stood 10 toes down, like he let her know, like, once you start getting it from a cross cultural perspective, once you start getting rejected from a cross cultural perspective, as a woman at that point, you got to take a look at yourself, like you just have to, and the fact that she made the video the way she made it showed that she still hadn't taken, like, that's the scariest thing for black
Yes.
females to do is self-reflection, because they know, because many times they're going to see a monster looking back at them and it's scary as hell. That's why they don't want to do it. That's why they're constantly projecting how their emotional outbursts, which are very teenagery, adolescent type, is endemic of them. Really, like, if you listen to her conversation, like, she doesn't sound like a woman. She sounds like a teenager. You know what I'm saying? Like she's 12 or something. And so again, like their
She sounds
mindset.
like 70% of Black American women when you really
Yes.
listen to them.
Correct.
You know, the great Scheherazade Ali said out of her own mouth that they don't mature past the age of what, 14 or 15.
14, I
She
think she
said
said.
that.
Yeah.
She said it.
Yeah, she said that.
That's fact.
Yeah, women truly don't mature until they get married and accept the leadership of a man to mature them.
Okay, y'all. I'm trying to get Bad Black Gamer in here.
Oh yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
yeah. Bad Black Gamer. Don't worry about these fellas. They're being a little disrespectful because I'm trying to get you in. They don't mean it. They don't mean it. You know what I'm saying? Forgive them for me this time. Just forgive them this time for me. Okay.
No,
You
it's,
got
it's
the
all
flow, my
good.
brother.
It's all good. It's all good. Hey, salute to the show. Salute to Roger and the chat and everybody. What's up, fam? And hopefully y'all can hear me okay. My sound's all right. My audio's all right.
We hear you fine.
Um,
We hear you fine.
I'm just gonna come in real quick. All this reminded me of that 1987 Eddie Murphy Raw show that he did, where he was talking about going to how the women they break up with their boyfriend and then they go to the Caribbean and they expect the Caribbean guy to walk up to him and say, "What's wrong, beautiful lady?" You know, and she was expecting that treatment from him and she didn't get it. And shouts out to him for not getting put into the sucker bag because that's exactly what was about to happen to him. She thought she was gonna get like this nice little Jamaican dude gonna pay for food and everything, and basically put him into like a sucker bag. Meanwhile, she still got her like Rule said, like her plookies and stuff that she messing with on the street. Because we know she's single, but she don't mean she ain't like getting it in. So shouts out to him for like standing strong and you know showing us how to do it. When these women be mistreating us on these dates. And that's all I got. I'm gonna drop off right there.
Okay, well, I'm just throw in real quick, y'all. This was a man displaying dignity over vagina. That's simple at the end of the day. His dignity was worth more than her vagina because she definitely was going to give him some.
Roger, can I ask you a question?
He was.
Go ahead, John.
She said, the woman said he was tall and he was handsome.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm considering he probably is dark because he's Jamaican. So what do women look for all over the world? Tall, dark, and handsome. I take this brother to Colombia with me. That girl's going to be sitting there waiting for him to come in. And that girl's going to have smiles on his face when he gets there. And that's why some of these sisters are losing, because you guys are going overseas and they know who they, if they are men who are productive and they have these qualities, they are going to get love overseas.
And you know what? And I do want to reinforce. I really believe he was a productive man, because as Black Rule kind of alluded to, I think that man got off work and then came downstairs to the restaurant that was, he probably worked at a place that was right up above the restaurant or something like that, or maybe a block or two away. I ain't gonna put a whole lot of effort into this. This is a convenient spot. I know this spot. Just be here at 7 o'clock. I get some extra work in. He might be one of them type of people who come early and stay late. Get my little extra work in, then I'll go right downstairs and meet with her, because stuff was weird earlier. Yeah, okay. And again, y'all, I don't believe stuff was actually weird. I just think she wanted to insult him, but she don't have enough background on that man to insult him. And that's all it was at the end of the day. There's no background to insult. She can't say what he don't do, how he is, or anything like that, because she never got on the date to really get to know him as a person in any real way. So, but she's a Black woman. I have to insult him as I present this stuff to the women, because this video is not for us as men. And I acknowledge I watch some of this stuff because I'm a content creator. I know that she ain't put this out for us. This, it's good for us to see it and dissect it, so y'all can see what the women are doing and the type of stuff they say behind our back. Because this is one of those videos. This is them talking behind our back.
You know what? I think she lying. As
So we know it's a lie there somewhere. We know it's a lie.
Think about it, man. So he books dinner. He tall, dark, and handsome. My brother just pointed out he tall, dark, and handsome, and he's going to pay for dinner the first date in Manhattan. All of that doesn't sound logical or real. And she drives into Manhattan. You got Uru mentioned that earlier. No one does that. And then she gets parking. No one does that. It's just, and then where is she filming the video? Like, as we unpack it, all of these things cannot be, there are no coincidences. And this is a lot of things. There's a lot of things lining up for this to be an actual true story. Like, I'm not buying it.
She filming that after she just got routed out by Daquan. And she filming that right after.
What
She
woman?
probably called that nigga that same night. She probably was feeling so bad she had to get somebody to make her feel good.
Because she feel exactly because she feels bad about what Mr. Jamaican did to her. She went and got rotted out by Daquan, but she's still emotionally lamenting being rejected by Jamaica.
What Black woman goes on a date with a man after they had a quote unquote weird conversation?
Come on, man.
Well, she had a plan for him. She had a plan for him.
What Black man buys a weird chick dinner without coffee? I'm in Manhattan. I'm a book reservations in Manhattan. I ain't doing that unless it's your birthday and we've been together 5 years. We ain't eating dinner in Manhattan.
Well, like I said, it might just been a little quiet, easy spot for him to get to, because he probably stayed a little late at work, got that extra project going or whatever, close something out. Maybe, it could have been a lawyer or something. She probably don't even know what the man really do, because she would have bragged on it if he would have been doing something quote unquote big time. She took a chance to brag on, because the whole thing is about he like me. And I technically I ruined it, but I ain't trying to give y'all the impression that I ruined it. I need y'all to have an impression that he messed up with me because he showed up on time. And that's what his problem is. He came on time.
This situation is very much analogous to the boyfriend thing, the Vogue article, this whole sort of coping for what they don't have. It's very analogous. It's like, let me create some kind of mythical way of putting on someone else what I lack or how I'm failing in some way. So it's very much aligns with that. And the The other woman who hosted this video is all a part of that, because if you go back to the Vogue article, it's all about this cabal of women, or this coven of women who are reinforcing failure upon each other. This anti-heterosexual normity, all this kind of shit that the article referenced to. It's about women creating and perpetuating and celebrating failure amongst each other.
It's the participation trophy ideology. She wants to get rewarded, and the woman in the video is rewarding her simply for participating. Oh, girl, you showed up, you parked and everything. You at least you participated. It's the participation. Everybody get a trophy. You didn't get the dick, you didn't get the date, you didn't get the man, but you still get awarded a trophy. How? That's the logic of the article in this woman, and the woman made a video giving her roses, giving her trophy. Don't feel bad. Here go your trophy.
Yeah. And I'm saying the guy actually messed up by doing things the proper way. Because he was on time, that was problematic. Because, see, if I'm late and you on time, see, now there's something to talk about. But see, if you'd have just been as late as I would have been, everything could have been cool.
If you
So,
was dysfunctional as I, yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? You mad at the guy because he showed up on time. The guy got some food. I didn't even think about the fact what you said. Yeah, to hold that table down. He got to get the table, make something happen with the table, or they gonna get that table to somebody else. See, I ain't from New York, so I didn't even think about factoring that in. And he took another bite. Okay, so he had some food there already. They went prepared, and you want me to believe he was only 2 to 3 minutes late.
That's another piece of the story. He got food too, right? Oh,
he took another bite, but she only 23 minutes late.
Hey Roger, just off the subject, but when I came home, I came up the steps, I was sweating, and my wife sat me down and she said, here's this water and lemon, it's good for your congestion and good for your digestion, and sit down and relax. And I'm just wondering, is that true?
You know what? I can believe that a whole lot easier than believing that he took another bite and she was only 23 minutes late. I definitely can believe your story way more than I can believe your husband. And that's real talk. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a woman who actually cares about you. And see, and this is my thing, y'all. I'm not going to say it's got to go deep because this was the first date. But we all know this thing about trying to get off on a good foot with a person. If you're trying to get out on a good foot, why be late to the first date? It just don't make sense to me, man. It just don't make how little respect you have to have of him to be late on your.
If I am used to being prodded out by a good-looking dude, if it's all about them smashing, all about me getting smashed, it don't really matter when I get there, because in the end, I'm gonna get smashed. She is probably shocked. She is probably shocked that getting smashed wasn't the priority.
Correct. You don't want this pussy. That's why she sat there.
Of course, he was gonna wait to get smashed. Oh, he was gonna wait to smash me. Of course, he was gonna do that.
Nope. He said no.
And again,
got rejected.
To me, 5 years of being a hoe. If you think about it from that perspective,
5 years
you
of hoe.
understand why she is confused by why that happened. Because I'm cute and I'm used to getting tossed around the last 5 years. What's the confusion? Yeah, he had to wait an hour, but what's the waiting an hour to get a piece of ass?
You know what, Buckaroo? I hate to say it.
She couldn't even stay that long. Her partner, she was like, "Let's go."
I'm explaining her mentality. I'm not saying that it's right or just or whatever. I'm saying if you put it in her, if you go into her mind, that's why if you listen to her, she seems to be actually kind of confused by what happened. Because the whole thing was supposed to be, she was supposed to get tossed around somewhere.
This is what I'm saying.
What's the big deal? What was the big deal for me being late?
I'm give you some ass anyway.
I think when you think about it from that perspective, we done examine this in a bunch of other ways. I think I just figured out what was weird.
That's what was weird.
The weird part was he asked her out. That was the weird part.
Mm-hmm.
He
That was the weird part. That was the
didn't
weird
take it
part.
as
He was too formal. He was too formal. He was too gentlemanly. All that kind of stuff. Because she had already qualified him for the ass when she said he was tall and Jamaican and good looking. So she had already qualified him that he was gonna get it.
so
That's
I
right.
think
That's
the
why I
weird
said
part was
she was gonna give him some ass, bro. She was.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think the weird part was the fact that, dude, I'm trying to get to you now, and you want to go on a date, nigga. You already won. Why are you taking me on a date when I'm already trying to let you hit? That was weird.
No, but
That's what's
she'll
weird.
take the date. She'll take the date. But now why you tripping cause I'm late, nigga? Cause an hour from now I'm gonna be sucking your dick. What's the problem?
No, I agree with that, Black Rule, but the fact that she said something was weird before the date even happened, because of her mentality, I just connected how I got weird. I'm trying to give you this booty, and it got weird because you asked me on a date. Nigga, I'm not to be dated. I'm to be smashed.
But
It proves
but
what I've been
the weird
saying
the
so
weird
much.
part the weird part will be in the process of giving you the booty, she's still gonna be a gynocrat. So she'll do all the gynocratic shit, but it's clear in her mind that she gonna give you booty. It's just like the same thing where Daquan got dick all up the mouth, back door, everything. But she's still supposed to also treat Daquan like he a bitch. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying?
No.
Right.
I'm
You
not
know, so
disagreeing. I'm
so
not
She
disagreeing.
she
her
she wants
thing with
she
him
wants to treat
was
him the same way though.
he was gonna get it, but she was also supposed to treat him like a nigga.
She's trying to treat him the same way, but for a different purpose. When it's Daquan, she's just trying to satisfy that urge. With this dude, she's going to try to use sex to manipulate him into being with her, and it didn't work. That's why she's feeling some kind of way, because her mating strategy was not going to work here. He was going to take away her power. I've asked this question from multiple females, and they can never answer the question. What value do females bring what value do females bring when you take sex away? What value when you first meet a female and a female meets you? They're expecting a man to bring a value. She's expecting him to take her out, which is provision. If something happens that's dangerous, she's expecting you to protect her. When it comes to figuring out what to do, she expecting you to pick a spot. So she expecting leadership. So even if she ain't your woman, even if she ain't your wife, they're still expecting you to provide those types of things. So I asked them on the other side, well, what is it that y'all provide from the outset, from the initial phase that that is comparable to what y'all expect men to provide, and you can't use sex? They never can answer the fucking question, dog. They never can answer the question, dog, because they don't provide anything of value besides sex. So once you take the sex away as a weapon, as a tool, now they got to stand on their womanhood. Now they got to stand on their femininity that they don't have. And that's why she got exposed, because she didn't understand why he rejected her. He was not going to allow her to use sex to manipulate him into something he didn't want to be in. And that's exactly what she was going to try to do.
No, I can
Y'all
agree with
use it.
that, but I do think that wasn't I don't think it was like her real case. I think she was just trying to get that man some booty.
No,
He
for
did take
what purpose though,
no,
Roger?
but
That's my point.
hold on, brother, hold on. Just let me get the theory out. Let me get my theory out, because we can't prove it either way. My theory is she met the guy that she physically was attracted to. She wanted to get that man some booty. All right. Whatever hint she gave to him to say, come on, take this booty, he didn't accept it. He was on some, well, we're going to go out, we're going to have a date, and then blah, blah, blah. Now, she's still a gynocrat. So, therefore, she's going to accept the date. Because if I got to go on a date to give you the booty, then that's just what I got to do to give you this booty. So, I'm down. It's cool. Now I'm gonna disrespect you on how I treat you about the date, because for me, it's not about the date. It's just about me giving you the booty. That's it. So when you don't factor the importance of the date in, which he clearly did not, I was just trying to give you booty. So that what made it weird in the first place? The fact that you put a date in front of me just giving it to you. We didn't even have to do this. We could have been around this. Now I'll go to dinner if you just gotta eat, fine. But why don't you just take me to the hotel? Or why don't you just come take me back to your place? Why don't you just come back to my place? Heck, I got a car. Why can't we just smash in the car? Because why she bring that car? If it's that difficult to bring a car into the situation, why did she bring the car? She brought the car in because she didn't want to worry about paying for a hotel.
Because unlike Daquan, who she is, okay, when she just want to get hit off, she's not going to expect Daquan to take her out on a date. She's going to let him just come through and smash. If it's a dude that she'll see herself with. See, you got to think how they think. It ain't just about the smashing, it's about the strategy. What's their overall strategy? Her overall strategy ain't just getting smashed, because if she just want to get smashed, she can get smashed by Daquan. With this particular guy, you could tell she was very teethy when she was talking about this dude. So this was a dude for her that she looked at as a dude that she could show off to her girlfriend, like, yeah, this is my man type shit. She want to show out. So it wasn't just about getting smashed. She would use getting smashed to ultimately get him to be her boyfriend, maybe possibly something more. But that's a strategy overall. It's not the same thing, because if she just want to get smashed, she got that in spades. She can call up Daquan anytime and come through. She ain't gonna go on a date with him. She got all jazzy up though for this dude. She got jazzy up. She wanted to make sure she was on look at her best and all of that. Why? Because she was trying to use her mating strategy to reel him in. The problem was that he wasn't going for it. That was the
Okay,
issue.
no, I get you.
He threw the monkey wrench in the plan. That's why it wasn't just about booty for her. It
Well,
was about how
the
she was going to
problem is
use booty to get
when
him.
you've been out on the streets for 5 years, getting rotted out by Daquan, you don't know how to be with some reputable
Thank you.
man.
That's the problem. That's the
You
problem.
know, you
Yep.
don't know, and you think if you cute or whatever, it's enough.
It's
But if
enough.
he's a
Yep.
good looking dude, he can easily get cute women with
Right.
the Jamaican
Right.
accent. He can
Right.
Let me
easily
interject.
do that. So apparently he wanted more, or was looking to
Right.
see if he had more to offer than just being cute.
No,
Right.
no, I do think he wanted more. I'm just not sure
He
if she
did.
wanted more. No, but my thing is, I'm not sure that she wanted
No,
more. I think she.
it's not what she want, Roger. I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying, because I repeatedly been saying
Yeah,
this, and
Roger,
you
you ain't
guys are
listening, bro.
missing the point. If you've been out here on these streets getting robbed, you don't know how to be a proper woman. Obviously, you don't know how to be a proper woman. You're in and out of a marriage. You're in and
Right.
out of a marriage, and then now you've been on these streets for 5 years. You don't even know. Even if you want to be a decent woman, you don't know. All you know is how to be a hoe. All you
No, no,
know is how to be cute and attract some man's attention for some short period of time, but you don't really know how to. When this guy was saying stuff to her that was like Chinese arithmetic to her,
no,
Exactly.
right?
I
Because
do
she is
agree with
so
all this.
far afield. Yeah,
No,
she's
I
so
do agree
far
with this.
afield from.
No, my thing is, I just
Well,
don't
go
know
ahead.
if she actually wanted to be around. If she actually wanted to keep, I'm not clear that she actually wanted to keep him around. I get what y'all are saying. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Roger,
I'm
hold on,
just
hold on,
saying.
hold on, Roger. Listen to the video. You could tell by the way she talked about the dude, she wanted to be with that dude. She
No,
saw herself as being
Mhm.
with that dude. That's a different
Nah,
mentality.
I,
she
I'm
wanted to
taking
screw
it
that
as
dude,
she.
She
man.
she made
Yeah,
she made a video about the dude, which at the
Right.
very least says that there was something that she thought was special about him, or that she hoped was special about him. If it was just some guy she was fucking, she done fucked all kinds of dudes the last 5 years. She ain't making
Thank you.
videos about it.
Thank you.
No. I get what y'all saying. I'm just gonna say my interpretation right now because I don't have more information. I'm accepting it as she's just doing this because she's in shock. She's in shock about the fact that smashing her was not the biggest deal to him. The date didn't go the way she thought it was gonna go. And I think she just accepted the date to get in bed with him. If that's what I gotta do to get in bed with you, fine. I'll do
But
that.
I'm assuming that over the 5 years, she's had hiccups with dudes. She made a video about this one particular dude.
I get what
She
you're saying.
made
I
a
get what
video
you're saying.
about this one particular dude. He's Jamaican. He's handsome. He's tall. That to me, that's her saying or communicating that she was hoping there was something that she could make happen here. But the problem is that when you've been a hoe out here for so long, haven't had the proper upbringing, you don't really know how to do what you need to do. That's why I said he high value man her at. Because
No.
my point was he
I'm not
behaved in a
disagreeing.
way in which she was not. He behaved in a way in which she was not prepared to really
She
accommodate.
responding like she was going to give him the pussy. And females, if you want to hurt a female soul, if you really truly want to crush a female's ego, reject their pussy, and you're going to get that kind of response.
All right,
You're going to get that
And the reason why
response.
it wasn't just about sex, Roger, is if you listen to her tone is more of that don't sound like a woman that it was just about sex. It sounds like a woman who was like, I was really kind of hoping something would happen here.
No, I'm not saying it was
And
just about sex.
know,
The rejection to me made it about her ego. So I'm not saying that it's just about sex. I'm saying because she got rejected, her ego hurt right now. Now
her pussy
but
got
I'm
rejected.
saying
That's what got rejected.
over 5 years, there's going to be hiccups. She made a video about this guy. She described this guy in a specific way. She provided details about how and why things fell through. You don't just do that just because, that to me, it sounds like, from my observation, she thought she might really like this guy. And she hoped this guy might really like her. But she's used to operating a certain kind of way that is not adequate for a man like him.
When you hang out with a bunch of escorts, you start acting like an escort. But Champ came up, so I'm trying to get a mic to Champ. Champ, you got it, brother.
What's going on? Happy Wednesday, brothers. I saw this, and it sounds like, when I looked at this whole situation, she was trying to be Stella, and Stella how she got her groove back by bumping into a nice, handsome Jamaican man and everything else. And she thought that she could get that man to be more submissive, more simpish, and everything else. But lo and behold, he wasn't going to play that game and everything because he must have learned some of the stuff from us foundational Black Americans. And now she's, being rejected. She's pissed and upset about it. And it's funny. And it's funny to watch. So that's what I wanted to say. So shout out to the Jamaican brother for standing tall right there. Don't go.
That's exactly how I see it.
Don't go for that game anymore. So I'm gonna let my plane there.
Yeah, he kept that dignity over that vagina. And that's all it was. He kept that dignity over that vagina. Y'all, it can be done, y'all. It can be done. You can have your dignity even if some vaginas on the table. I'm sure he ain't missing one.
To the men on the panel, have y'all ever rejected a female's pussy before? Have y'all ever done it?
Yep.
I have.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes.
They do not like it.
Yes.
What was their? How did they react? How did they respond?
They do not like it. You gay, you sassy.
They lose their mind.
I got threats. They were calling me up and everything else. You know, threatening to slash my tires and all that. I've had that happen before.
Yeah, rejects is usually not taken well, especially by a sister. You know,
No. You can reject not wanting to be with them, but to reject that vagina is a whole different level for their ego, dog. It is the highest level of passivity you could make a female. I'm telling you, they do not respond well to that. It hits them in their core. When you tell a female you don't even want the box, you're basically in her mind like taking away her essence as a woman. Like
Yep.
she's nothing. Like she's nothing to you.
Yep.
And that's
Hey,
why
hey, right here,
she's responding this way.
right here, right here. What you say is, nah, I'm good.
I'm good.
well, you
Straight
know,
up.
I think
I'm
to
good.
them, it really
I'm
is
good.
like a starving man rejecting food.
Right.
You know, you
Right.
you see that man starving, you see his stomach caving in and whatnot. Well, baby, I got these biscuits. Nah, I'm good.
No, I'm good. No, I'm good.
I would risk death
Well,
before I eat your food.
to them, that's supposed to be kind of a magic trump card.
Yep.
And once they don't have that, to you, they effectively do not exist.
Right.
To
Right.
you, it's like, wow. So I mean, I really have no actual presence here.
Yeah.
You can resist that. I don't really have anything here. I might as
No.
well just be invisible.
My bag empty.
Crawl in the ball in the corner and go die somewhere. That's how they feel. They really feel like that, bro. That's what she was basically doing. She basically was curled up in a fetal position and wanted to go in the corner and just die. That's how she was feeling, bro. I remember one time this chick, man. I learned this, bro. This is before I married my ex-wife. I had met this chick and she let me hit. You know what I'm saying? First time, you know what I'm saying? She let me hit. And then after that, she withdrew and was like, well, no, I don't wanna have sex unless I'm in a relationship. And I was like, okay, that's cool.
You
Cool, no
already
problem.
did though.
You know what I'm saying? So but I was cool. I was like, all right, cool, no problem. So I didn't call her. So she would hit me. I'm like, what's up? She was like, I'm trying to see what's up. I'm like, well, you said you didn't want to have sex. So she was like, well, no, I don't want to have sex. I said, well, I can respect the fact that you don't. I said, but I would rather for you have not given me sex at all, if that's what you were standing on, because I can respect that. I said, but you can't give me a plate of food and it's good, and then after that be confused as to why I want another plate. Like, nah, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I realized that at that time, like, oh, she tried to use the sex to try to sucker me in on some stuff that she didn't earn, because she didn't even have to use sex to. If she would have showed me that she was just a cool chick and we was cool and we rocked with each other, we could have made something happen. But because she didn't do that, I was like, nah, man, I'm good. I had no desire to talk to her. I remember one time she texted me out of the blue, like, oh, this is how I knew she was desperate. She texted me on Labor Day, like, happy Labor Day. I'm like, nobody say that shit. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, look, man, like, nah, you go ahead and ride out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go ahead and ride out.
Now
You know what
that's
I mean?
reaching. That's
I
reaching
mean,
right
reaching
there.
hard, bro.
That is
Like, come on, man.
desperation. That is
Like,
desperation.
but she was shocked that I rejected her. Like, I wasn't gonna let her use sex to manipulate me. You know what I'm saying? So that showed me that, and that was at an early age. So that let me know. I'm like, oh, okay. So you're not trying to use this box to try to manipulate dudes, and that's why I was saying, like, she was going to do that. For Daquan, it's different, but for this guy who she holds in a certain level of esteem, she's like, okay, like, I'm gonna give it to him, because a lot of times it's a strategy. Females like this, they'll try to sexually get with a guy before another female can, because that's their way of trying to lock him down from other females. So they'll try to let me hurry up and give him some so he won't be interested in no other female. They do that shit all the time.
All right, now I gotta say, y'all, shout out to everybody in the building right now. But if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, y'all. I've done multiple channels. My people want me to get to this 1,000 subscriber again quickly, so we can get them super chats turned back on, and I'll turn them on as soon as I can, y'all. But we do got to get to the 1,000 subscribers again. So if you like the best content the internet got to offer, you might as well subscribe, hit the Roger Report Live, because this is where it's at. It's that simple at the end of the day. This is where it's at. Okay? We give you the best stuff over here. And this ain't even what I planned on doing today. I found this late last night, and I said, I got to make a change. You know, me and the program director, we got together, and we said, we're going to do something a little different today, you know. So, you know, shout out to everybody celebrating Labor Day. Shout out to everybody celebrating Labor Day. I think there's Ryan gave me a new code for Labor Day.
But here's the thing. Let's be honest, Rael. If you're desperate, that's all it would have taken. Labor Day today's the day.
You could have hit that day. You could have hit that day.
Yo, I'm gonna start
It
using
would have been
coded
all
language.
good.
Yo, they be like, man, did you go out with such and such? That? Nah, man, I was celebrating Labor Day. You know what I'm saying? Got a new
Man,
way
that
to
shit was
celebrate
wild as
Labor
hell,
Day out
bro.
here, y'all.
Man, that shit was wild as hell. I was like, man, she's like, yo, you corny for that. Like,
Yeah.
man, get out of here.
Hey, at least she made an effort, man. At least she made an effort.
She tried. I give her a C for effort.
But let's be real. For most dudes, it just would have been about, okay, yeah, she won't do this, you know. Let me go on over that. That would have been what all it took. So that was her way of saving face by telling you, you know, that was her way of telling you to come get pussy, but saving face in the process.
Right.
That's what,
Right. And I because I knew I wasn't interested in it no more, I was doing it for the next dude. I rejected her on purpose. She was fine. Nice ass. I mean, she was right. But I did it to bring her ego down on purpose for the next dude.
Well,
to
I
let her
mean,
know, like, you
she
ain't
deserved that.
all that like that.
I mean, she kind of do deserve that, because if you gonna give up the box and then tell a nigga, I don't really do this unless I'm in a relationship, like, I can't believe you already gave me the box. So what you're saying to me right now isn't even consistent. You were supposed to tell me that before you gave me the box, and I might have respected it. Me personally, probably wouldn't have, but I might have respected it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, technically, I do respect it, because I ain't gonna pursue it. If you tell me you just ain't give me none, I'm just not gonna date you, and that's just real talk.
But she tried to emotionally manipulate me through sex. I find that highly disrespectful.
Well, it is highly disrespectful.
I find that highly disrespectful.
Let's be for real.
Period.
It is highly disrespectful. It's saying you like a dog, you know, and I can treat you like a dog, you know, and you're gonna accept this like a dog. So it is highly disrespectful.
Y'all gotta give these women grace. That's all they got, bro. That's all they got.
Bro, the thing
They ain't
is,
got nothing else.
you could have used that, but not come in after the fact talking about, I don't want to do that unless I'm in a relationship. If you would have said
I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%, man. But usually, and this is if you date relatively attractive women all the time, you'll find out the more attractive they are, the more they lean on their vagina, and that's all they got.
Yep.
Well, I figured out at 16, the more attractive ones were a little off anyway. I figured out at 16. I remember because I was in school when I had to have a conversation about this. And I'm like, seeing like I'm talking to the older ones at this particular time. So I'm talking to like senior girls and whatnot. And I'm like, it seemed like the more attractive y'all, the more crazy y'all are. That's what I'm peeping.
They have the lowest self-esteem. The more attractive they are, they tend to have the lowest self-esteem. That's what I learned.
Yeah, I
agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know,
the problem with the more
thing.
attractive girls is they get the most pressure, and they get the most pressure earlier, and they get overwhelmed by the all the action that comes at them, and they usually start much earlier than they are ever prepared or have ever been prepared to. See, that's why fathers are important because
Yep.
in a proper environment, the father has deflected most of that shit before it even got to her. He's already
Mm-hmm.
known half of the guys in the neighborhood because he's already seen how they looking at his daughter. So she don't even really, she probably don't even get most of that pressure because the father is already scared some dudes off. But in
Mm-hmm.
gynocratic Black America, that's not happening. So she's getting all that pressure by 12 years old, 13 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very corruptive. It's very
Yeah,
corruptive. So yeah, if she is especially attractive and it manifests early, she's gonna be fucked well before you ever even get to her because it's just gonna be too much.
well, to show,
Yep.
I mean,
Literally,
to get what the
literally
signs are
and
that,
figuratively.
how, yeah, what the signs
Exactly.
are,
Both.
when they go up.
Both.
Well, I was about to say, the sign is, when a lot of these ladies, go on Instagram, posted it on their Snapchat and on Twitter, you know, those type of ladies, when they do that type of stuff, that just goes to show you how insecure they are.
Well, there is a real thing about this because I mean we all remember when we were little boys. I'm sure certain girls you just didn't talk to because you didn't want to have to deal with their father. You want to come across their father. It wasn't something you thought as like a plan or something like that. You just knew. Oh, Mr.
You knew
Johnson ain't
better.
let nobody touch his daughter. You wasting your time.
Mhm.
You would hear stuff like that.
And
You don't even bother.
he's already Mr. Johnson has mentioned guns. Usually, Mr. Johnson has mentioned guns
Yeah.
very early. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you 14, 15 years old, and he's already done showed you something. That's been
Mm-hmm.
my actual experience. He's
Mm-hmm.
already showed you something. Now, what he usually does is, now he might not threaten you directly. What he does though is let you know that, it's my home, I'm protecting my daughters or whatever. So you indirectly get the message.
I mean,
That's what usually happens.
you indirectly start
Yeah.
protecting his daughter. Cause a dude to come to the neighborhood or something like that, or don't really know what's going on, be like, nah,
Yeah.
bro,
Yep.
that's Mr. Johnson's daughter.
Nah,
Leave
man,
that
you
one
don't
You
want to do
alone.
that.
don't want to go over there because you don't want
You don't want to do that, player.
you don't want to go over there, man. Stay away.
Yeah. No, man,
Yep.
she cool.
Yep.
She ain't the one you
You
gotta
put
worry
your life
about.
Yeah.
you put your life in jeopardy over there.
You don't want that kind of action over there, man.
Nah.
Yeah. So
Nah.
we indirectly protecting Mr. Johnson's daughter out.
Yeah.
Because you
Mm-mm.
don't want your homie
True.
to end up hurt. And it's that simple at the end of the
Like,
day.
hey, Mr. Johnson got that shotty over there, bro. You don't want to hear that click click, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And to me, this is sad because
And
I'm going to say, well, go ahead, Kevin, before I say what I'm going to say. Go ahead.
well, I was gonna
Oh,
say before we move on, this is a nugget for the ladies right here. Just based on this little thing right here, what we're talking about. This is why fathers are important in the household. You get free protection from the neighborhood for your children just because the father is present
you
to
ain't
help you
That's a
lying.
good
preserve
rep.
your daughter.
That's a rep
Yeah.
for the
That's
father.
true.
Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
Because, you know what I'm
Since,
saying?
since,
Because
since they want since they want protection so much.
mm-hmm. and that ain't never no lie. Because I know plenty of kids who about to get into it with somebody, and somebody was like, well, that's Mr. Johnson kid. That ain't going to go over smooth,
You,
bro.
and usually after Mr. Johnson, they said, Mr. Johnson be carrying that thing on him at all times. Usually,
Mm-hmm.
Because we be knowing his kids. We be knowing.
usually something like he carry it with him at all times.
Yeah. And that's protecting the boys and the girls. You don't want to fight. That's Mr. Johnson's
Hmm.
son. You
Yeah,
don't want to fight
he
him.
don't fight. He don't fight, and they'll say something. He don't fight you now. He don't fight you.
Yeah, he don't fight you.
But now I forgot what I was gonna say. Forgot what I was gonna say. But
Nah, that's real.
I'm sorry, sir.
no, it's all good. It's all good. It's important that get out. But no, you know what I was gonna say. The sad thing about this particular video, is the woman who went on the date, or at least attempted to go on the date, because I can't even say technically this was a real date at this point. She attempted to go on the date, but bring up I had it there all late on the first date. I'm gonna say this. See, this is what I mean, and I don't know if I've said it on any of the lives. I don't know if I really said it on the live. This is what I call a waste of beauty. You got a woman who looks attractive enough. I'm not saying people got to be at 10s out here. You look attractive enough to be somebody's wife. You have literally thrown your youth away over nonsense. I know that has happened because you've already been married and divorced, and you ain't that old. This is not like a 45-year-old lady. You young and you already married and divorced. And I would bet money that marriage didn't last 3 years. I bet money it didn't last 3 years.
I agree.
You know, so what's the point in being attractive? And the best you can do with it is come up with random dick. Because ugly girls can do that.
I mean, for real.
I mean,
Well,
and I'm not
if
saying
you're
this in a
not
real
trained,
joking way. Well, I'm saying,
I mean, if you're not trained right, that's all you got.
I'm just saying, if you could only get what the ugly girl get, you probably want to rethink life. Yeah, if you didn't get one advantage over being a nice looking young lady, you didn't get one advantage. You played your life wrong in a lot of ways, and you probably do need some help. You know, Perfect called a narcissist. I don't personally try to label people, but Perfect, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure her life could have went a multitude of different ways if she'd have just actually put some kind of effort into being a good person. And that's just real talk. That's what I honestly believe. You know, if she just made an effort into being a good person, her life would not look anything close to what it looked like now. Because now she do look ran through. You've been married and you've been divorced. You ain't been on a date in 5 years. And no matter what we want to say about her, and people can say, well, we don't know what's been going on. She looks ran through. Because you were married, divorced, and have a 5-year gap of dating. That looks ran through. Because what were you doing when you weren't dating?
I think also we should also, as black men, because I'm assuming her ex-husband is Ados, and the female who did the video on her is Jamaican, and this is another example of either a Caribbean or African female using an experience in the Americas to try to deride their men. One of the things that I do not accept from any female, and I just stand on this, I don't care if we've had issues with, these men from these, places, whether it's the Caribbean or African, because when we talk as men, we can work it out. I do not allow females from other groups to deride their men at all. I just don't allow it. If she's Senegalese, I don't let her talk bad about Senegalese men. If she's Jamaican, I don't let her talk bad about Jamaican men in front of me. I just don't allow it. Because
How your hands full.
I've been around these types of men, and I know that they have great men in their culture. And typically, if you're talking bad about a man from your culture, it's typically because you chose to go make a decision about a man without your father's approval anyway. So you already out of pocket anyway. So if you ain't gonna listen to your own fathers or your own uncles in your own culture, I don't care to hear about the so-called bad man that you chose on your own. I'm not gonna tolerate it. So I don't even allow them to even bring up these so-called no good men in their culture, specifically because I don't even believe this particular female is even saying this stuff living in Jamaica. I think she's living in America, because I don't believe she would even have this type of conversation if she was actually still living in Jamaica.
I'm pretty sure she'd have got a welfare check. It would just made sure she's doing all right. But y'all, we're gonna have to end it right here because we are past that 3-hour mark. It has been a fantastic show, if you ask me. I think the solution was obvious from Jump Street. I think pretty much everybody could see at least a part of the solution when you first checked out the video. And the fact that the man literally had to throw it in your lap and you still couldn't understand. Yeah, and I'm not saying she really couldn't understand. I don't buy into the women don't understand. It's just what we accept and what we refuse to accept. So she just refused to be a reasonable person. I wouldn't want to have babies with you either. And that's real talk. Y'all, it's been great. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right. And I'm out.